Happy Tuesday, everybody. And you know what Tuesday brings. It means we have some more Rainbow Six Siege tonight, but not just any Rainbow Six Siege. We are officially in week number 1 of the playoffs, the NECC Challengers quarterfinals, and it is going to be one of the greatest games of the semester tonight. It is, well, every week upon this is going to be one of the greatest games because we are now, we cannot afford to lose this. This is it. This is the postseason. Tonight's game, it is the Carthage Firebirds versus the Southern Illinois University Edwardsville Cougars. Firebirds, I have seen them before in week 2, but I think the Firebirds are going to walk away with another dub. We did play them in week 2, like I said, and we won 2-1, ending up, losing map 1, but winning map 2 and 3 by a decent margin. So I'm excited to see what we have in store tonight. I am your host, the Bearded Man, as the lovely title says. I motioned for that perfectly. And I'm joined by the fabulous Toner. How you doing, Toner?
I'm doing great. I love Tuesdays. It's going to be a great night for Siege,
Oh, yeah. I love Siege as well, and honestly, we have a great story. Now, the Firebirds ended this regular season in number 2 seed, the regular season number 2 seed. SIUE is at near the bottom. They were ended the season at number 7, and number 8 was just above that cutoff line. Unfortunately, only one team was eliminated, was not able to qualify for the playoffs in our division. But I gotta say, the Firebirds record 6-3, and of those 3 losses, I have found excuses for every single one of them. The first loss was in week number 1 against LBCC. Now it was a 2-1 loss, and it was week 1, and mind you, we have 3 new players on this team who were still trying to, just kind of figure out that new competitive aspect. That was their first time, their first foray into it. And then the next time the Firebirds lost was all the way in week number 5 against St. John's. It was a 1-2 loss. But my excuse for that, it was right after spring break, and they had a 2-week hiatus from Siege.
I got an excuse too.
What?
It was a Minnesotan team, my home. I love it.
Well, they don't know how to play Duck Duck Goose up there, so
Duck Duck Grey Duck is the actual terminology for it. St. John's and St. Mary's, I miss it. I miss back home.
All right, and then the week after that, last week, our third loss was SHSU. Now SHSU undefeated. Firebirds gave them the most single game round losses their entire season. I think so. I think the Firebirds definitely deserved. I think they fit into the second place seed. SHSU, great team, but the Firebirds gave them a run for their money. It was I believe it was an 8 to. I have the exact stats right here. It was a 7-4. That doesn't seem right. It was a loss. Okay, it was. Here we go. 6-8 in that first map, which is a huge or a very close margin of victory there. Unfortunately, the Firebirds did lose by a little larger margin in that map too. But like I said, I think they were the kryptonite to SHSU, and I think if the Firebirds will end up playing them again, it's going to be the matchup of the century. You heard it here first. That's my prediction. But what are you thinking of tonight? How are you feeling? What are your thoughts right now?
For tonight, nothing much going into it. We're going Chalet first map, correct?
Yes, map number 1 is going to be Chalet. Firebirds are going to be attacking. Now, the Firebirds, I think, have had a decent. This has been like their go-to map. They have played it nearly every week, so they really know the strategies on this map. Really know how to play it well.
And like I say all the time with Chalet, it's a map that you really need to know because it's going to be in the map pool and it's going to be picked so many times. So a lot of people know how to push every single site. That's its biggest weakness. But Firebirds do like switching things up on it. So hopefully if they can stick to that, hopefully get a lot of rounds 1-1 on defense and then keep it going on attack. Like that's what I'm expecting. Hopefully the Firebirds can execute it and just have some new tactics coming up from next week or last week, and implementing those tactics this week. So I'm very excited to see what the Firebirds are going to bring tonight.
Oh yeah, but I'm excited to see what the Cougars bring to the match. Now the Cougars' final record of the season was 4-5. A map differential of -2. It was 9 wins to 11 losses. And then the round differential, 89-99. That is a -10 round differential. That's not that good. Now, I gotta say though, when I first saw that, I was like, that's unfortunate. It's like they've had a decent amount of wins, but it just, the Firebirds and all the teams above them just really had, success in a lot of these areas, because you could have a -1 map record, but you could be, you just lose one map or whatever, you're dead even basically. But looking at the statistics, it looks like the Cougars had 4 weeks where they had some sort of forfeit. There were 2 weeks where they had to forfeit, and then there were 2 weeks where the other team forfeited. So they're they've only played 5 matches, 5 games, 5 weeks basically in this season. And their adjusted record, removing any of the forfeits, is 2-3. Which is pretty interesting to see. I mean, that changes out. I mean, it's still kind of a 1 point difference there in the record, but I gotta say, I am very curious what SIUE is going to bring to the table tonight. Whether or not that'll be, strategies to counter the Firebirds, it's hard to say. But I think the Firebirds, compared to week 2, are like nearly a completely different team. Their strategies are phenomenal. We've seen so many successes from them. So before we even hop into map number 1, let's meet the players. Welcome back, everybody. Perfect timing as we hop into the pick and bans for tonight's map number 1 on Chalet. The Firebirds, a few interesting bans here. I mean, we do see the Cougars immediately banning Montaigne here, but then the Firebirds retaliating with a Jackal and Warden bans, and then we see the Edwardsville, or the Cougars banning Solis. What are your thoughts on that?
I really like that. I mean, normally you see the same bands week after week.
We were kind of expecting it to be the same, so we didn't really want to talk about it.
I really love this. I mean, Monty, that's going to be really, really tough on that basement attack. I mean, you really want either a Monty or an Osa with you. And Solis, that is just, I mean, Solis has just been so dangerous the past few weeks with her little AI, little ears and all that, being able to see all those electronics. So this is going to be very interesting.
Oh yeah, I'm gotta say though, I mean, the Monty ban, of all the people to ban on attack, I mean, Monty is only really utilized on that one site. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a waste of a ban, but I feel like just as an attacker, there's so many other people I would have banned ahead of time.
I think overall, like, he is really good on every single site, but people only like to utilize him on basement. It's just like, it's really good second floor getting between that doorway. It's really good first floor, just being able to get in and put some pressure on. It's really difficult to try and counteract Monty, so I think overall it's a very strong ban on this map.
I would disagree, though. I think Monty is very easy to counter if you have smoke or oryx or any sort of explosives. Like, if you play it well, you could really cause some issues. Now, hopping into round number 1, like I said, the Firebirds are starting their attack. We do see the Cougars are running a Mira, Tachanka, Smoke, Legion, and Azami. It looks like they are doing that basement hold, whereas the Firebirds running a Nomad, Thermite, Thatcher, Ying, and Iana. Now, a Thatcher is exactly who you want to be playing on this bottom map, because it's just going to be able to allow you to open up that garage door, basically, and have direct line of sight onto point, hopefully allowing them to kind of shoot, get some crossfire down, opening up some of these walls, especially if you have a Ying and a Thermite. You're going to be able to open up a lot of these walls. Mixed with a Nomad, if you open up that garage wall, you can really hold down those lines of sight, ensuring that nobody's able to enter or even peek that site as you plan. Now, we do see the Firebirds really just taking it strategically, making sure to push from different angles. I'm really happy to see that. And we also see Quizby might be opening up that cellar wall, which is going to be good as Thermite. You're opening up a lot of lines of sight here, and they're going to be able to maybe push in and plant. You got to be watching out for that Azami, though, as we see, we're probably going to see them setting up a lot of, like, bulletproof walls, you know, as those Azami kunais are just really good at creating cover. Now, what are you expecting here in the next couple, like, seconds?
Right now, the Firebirds, like, they're going to have to push in, and immediately they're going to have to deal with the Azami, like what you said. She's hanging out over in blue stairs right now, probably under a pixel peak right now with those kunais, so hopefully the Firebirds can get rid of that as soon as possible. Oh, dear, I think that got it.
Ice Helix did get a little bit of damage there. However, Andy Bink walking into Quizby's suppressive fire. Unfortunately, we do see three of the Firebirds falling in quick succession there to a bunch of the players. I gotta say though, Tuan was flashing like the entirety of the Firebirds, so you gotta be watching out for that.
Yeah, for sure. This is gonna be a little bit difficult for the Firebirds going 2 and 4 left.
Very true, but nothing the Firebirds have not dealt with before. Ice Helix and Teshi, two really good mechanically gifted players here. You know, they're going to be able to do a lot of really good just firefights, you know, and I think at some of these duels, the Firebirds are just going to have a lot of success. It's just not going to work out. Now, I got to say, though, I am kind of curious why... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, Teshi wasn't planting. Unfortunately, Ice Helix peeked and did get taken out, and the Legion Trap took out the Teshi mixed with a bunch of firefights, whatever. Round 1 going to the Cougars. Now, the Firebirds had a pretty good fight there, you know? And it's definitely showing that the Cougars just holding these angles, you know? They're not pushing in. And I think it's because they know the Firebirds are really excelling in these gunfights, excelling with this mechanical skill. So as long as they're not kind of causing and forcing any sort of gunfights, it might be the key to success here. But the Firebirds are going to be able to probably adapt to that and basically say, I'm going to force you into a gunfight. And then it's not going to work out in favor of the Cougars, but it's hard to say at this point. Now, basement hold, I was surprised we didn't see more of a multi-angle approach.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused on that aspect because we did have like the stepping stones to do so, but overall just shut down on that aspect, and it's just tough to go in. There's a lot of traps being placed, and that Azami makes it where it's kind of flipping the sight around, you know? It's making those angles, like what you said, just different angles that you're not used to on the site.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit confusing for the Firebirds to push. Just a great defense from the Cougars, so hopefully Firebirds will recognize that and move forward.
Yeah. Now, I got to say, too, I mean, the Ying grenades did not do the Firebirds any favors there. I can't see the enemies. They could probably see me. So that, I think, was the biggest downfall there. I think it was maybe a mixture of people rushing in a little too early, mixed with maybe Tuan not throwing it, maybe hitting a wall. I wasn't quite sure what the situation was there. But it's round 1. It's very early. The Firebirds have come back from they've come back from dramatic deficits like this before. And I'm excited to see what the Firebirds are going to do on the second floor site as the Cougars are running a Goyo, Azami, Smoke, Legion, and Jaeger. A pretty similar strategy there outside of adding a Goyo and a Jaeger. You know, the Smoke, Legion, and Azami are just solid, you know, multi-composition matchups. They're good with everything pretty much. But the Firebirds running an Ashe, Ace, Dokkaebi, Ying, and Iana. Now, Dokkaebi, I gotta say, is pretty interesting. We aren't seeing much of a roaming game from the Cougars already. So, you know, Dokkaebi is kind of helpful, you know, especially in that later game, but you do have to kind of, you gotta time it, you know? You can't, you gotta know how to use it, you know? It's definitely a different strategy and a different use case, I guess.
Ooh.
That being said, Hobo took a ton of damage there from what I believe was a grenade from underneath, and that is exactly what the Firebirds are wanting to do and should be doing. That is a beautiful strategy, because if you're playing in the same place the whole time, you're just, especially on this map, the Firebirds are just gonna come underneath and just throw a grenade up, and suddenly you're not there anymore.
Yeah, hopefully the Firebirds can be able to go into library right now. It's been about a minute and a half. there we go.
That is a great pick for the Firebirds, and they're going to be pushing in, Waffles taking a ton of damage, but the Firebirds committing. Twan throwing another Ying charge. I gotta say, what is happening here from Twan? You know, that is a pretty interesting, maybe a little too excited with these Ying grenades, but...
you know, flashing teammates, it's all right because it doesn't flash yourself.
It's a strategy.
You know?
Yeah.
So as long as Twan gets the kill, everything's all good.
If my teammates can't see the enemy, they can't see my teammates, right? that's how it works. But you got to be watching out for this timer. I mean, 30 seconds left on the clock. The Firebirds still making their way. Honestly, the Cougars seem to be kind of pushing in now. Ying charge going out, and they're going to be missing that. And then Twan doing a ton of damage, doing a decent amount to to Kami Puppy. Unfortunately, Kami Puppy did get the refrag, but now the Firebirds have made it into a 4v1.
Oh,
the frag grenade
dear.
coming out, but there's no more smoke grenades. You don't have to worry about that, and we're going to see Teshi plant, while Xerxes and Ice Helix really just kind of lay down some suppressive fire, ensuring there's not going to be any issue. Now, the plant has gone off, which is so good for the Firebirds.
Dear.
They just have to make sure that they are not running into fire just like that. Now, Kami Puppy did get the pick on Teshi, but we did see Teshi getting that revive on Quizby. So the Firebirds are just going to hold the diffuser now. Kami Puppy has to push in, has to get that diffuser before the Firebirds miss. Oh, we do see Xerxes missing that gunfight, but
there we go.
Quizby's going to be behind and be like, hey, you're looking at Xerxes. You forgot about me. And just kind of stand up, say, oh, hey, peekaboo, and then winning that gunfight. So I loved that round. I think the Firebirds did really well. I think maybe on the slower side, a little bit risky there, but adapted to situations. I mean, we saw Quizby was downed, and we saw Teshi going for the diffuser immediately, saying, I'm not going to necessarily commit to reviving Quizby. I need to make sure that I can plant this as the timer goes down. And that is showing they're playing the game well. They're playing the game perfectly in that sense.
I think the best thing right there, was their decision-making ability when the clock was going down. It's just like, you know, should we stay here? Should we fight this? And then immediately knowing when the smoke was going to go away so they can get the diffuser, plant it safely. It was really well done. The only thing I would say is hopefully getting rotate over to that solarium stairs. Try and push on the other side, because if they did not make that initial push of Twan flashing in over by the piano, I don't think they would have made it in time. I don't think there would be enough time to make it happen. So I think just another push with Solarium, and it would have been flawless, but just a really good attacking round.
Definitely. Now the Firebirds, or we do see the Cougars are going to be playing the same position with pretty much the same comp outside of, they're swapping Azami for that Valkyrie. Now Valkyrie having that C4 mixed with Goyo is two things you got to worry about. That C4 could be deadly. Now the Firebirds very much switching up their strategy, which is exactly what I was about to say they should do and they need to do. Running a Glaz, Lion, Ying, Azami, and Blackbeard. Nearly completely different outside of the Ying still holds, which Ying is a really good operator. And I think the Cougars are going to try and expect the same thing that the Firebirds were going to do, or they did last round. But the Firebirds are smarter. They know, hey, I'm not going to do it. You're going to be expecting that. I'm going to do the unexpected, you know? And hopefully get some success here.
Wow,
now,
this is interesting.
I really like this strategy.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, what a strategy to be sure. I didn't even realize Teshi's on Ying. Twan is on that Azami.
What is happening?
Running in, planting, and that is a high-level strategy I have never seen for the Firebirds. And I love it. Twan sacrificing himself probably for the plant. I mean, he got the plant off. They're just going to try and rush Quizby, but Quizby is a different breed. I don't know why they thought they could do that. I don't know why you thought I could rush. What is happening? This is beautiful. I'm curious why they rushed Quizby when Quizby has an LMG. So Quizby, we do see the counter diffuse on the Legion. You got to be watching out though.
Oh no.
Oh, they're going to lose it, yeah. Firebirds lost it there despite having such a good strategy. And we can see Ice Helix slowly aiming up saying, oh my god, what just happened?
But
execution was great, but you forgot about that last player.
That I've never seen something like before, but that was really, really, really smart.
Oh yeah. It definitely showed how it showed the weaknesses in the Cougars' strategies, but also the weakness in the Firebird strategy. I think, I don't know what exactly went wrong there outside of they just weren't watching the diffuser. They got a bunch of the kills, but there's the one person remaining, but it just showed that that strategy could work, you know? I don't think the Firebirds are going to do it again for a bit, but it's showed
nice to have in the back pocket.
It showed that the Cougars are not going to, like, they are vulnerable, you know? Firebirds as well, but I think that mix-up from the Firebirds is very easy to fix.
Yeah.
Hey, plant the diffuser slightly more to the left because Ice Helix couldn't see it. I liked it, though. I really did. And now the basement hold. What are you expecting from the basement?
Hopefully, from the Firebirds, they're going to be pushing from a few different angles. Hopefully down blue stairs, because if they are bringing the Azami. That Azami's going to stay in that blue corridor. So hopefully trying to get her flushed out and then pushing from all the other 3 stairwells. I think that's going to be the best way to push this site. I'd like to see an A plant, to be honest.
I would too, but you gotta be careful because we are seeing like that seems to be where they're putting a lot of their defenses. And I think it's because they're kind of expecting that. Now, Xerxes taking a little bit of poke damage there from a distant Cougar in the other side of the basement, trying to meet some of the Firebirds' initial push. But that's just not really going to stop the Firebirds because Teshi, going from the other side, noticing, hey, I can shoot through these garage doors, so you're just going to have an issue. But you got to be watching out, too, because we do see they have a mirror window on that wall, which will look directly into the garage that they're pushing from. The Firebirds are running a very destructive build, but you have to actually get to the site, you know, to blow it up. And I don't know. I mean, we do see Ice Helix is going to be pushing from above, which could be a really good strategy here. I got to say, though, the Cougars are not playing the roaming game, which is good. I think the roaming game would cause them issues. I think because, like I was saying, how good the Firebirds' mechanical skill is, it's like now they can just double down on that defensive place they're not having to. Because that's what a lot of what the roamers will do, is just force it to I'm going to pick off a few, you know, stragglers in a sense. I'll flank around. And that's not what you want to do against the Firebirds. I think doubling down on the defense is what you want. Now, Ice Helix was able to disable that mirror wall, and it does look like Quizby's going to be planting from a slightly different angle into cellar, allowing them to maybe get a little bit of a different angle on this push. Now, we also do see the Firebirds kind of looking for a flanker. And I like this strategy here. I got to say, they're giving the illusion that they're going to plant right there. Meanwhile, the rest of the Firebirds are above them, and Twan pushing in, Teshi taking out Andy Bink right away with a beautiful, beautiful headshot. Quick and easy. Quizby's going to be planting, and the rest of the Firebirds watching out for this, making sure to protect Quizby at all costs. Now, a very interesting set of events there. Twan and Teshi getting a double kill there. Both refrags on Ice Helix and Xerxes. Unfortunately, Teshi getting a triple kill there finally, but it is 2v1. Firebirds just need to play it smart. And we see they're really missing some gunfire. Soy the Bean shooting the mirror window. Go. And Quizby playing one of the best games I've seen all season from her. And I gotta say though, she is a phenomenal player regardless, but this is showing she knows this map. She's comfortable with this map.
I think every kill's been a headshot too.
Oh yeah. I think I don't know the leaderboard right now, but I'm saying that because I think Quizby is definitely top fragger right as of now, because normally we've seen more of a supportive role. But I think Quizby did a little bit of aim training beforehand, a little bit more of a warm up, and I love to see it now. Very curious to see what the what the Cougars are gonna be doing now, because they're switching it up slightly. They do have a castle. They have a Mira, Castle, Smoke, Legion, and Azami. Now, here's the interesting thing. I'm curious if the castle. We did see last time they did play a castle, and I think it was their first time playing castle. I think they said in chat, because I think there's some debacle with some skins there, a whole thing.
That's happened like 5 times throughout this season. It's been
really has. Now it all depends on how that castle is playing, but I think it's hard to say from this angle. But honestly, I don't know. I like Castle. I really do. I think I've been playing a lot of Castle recently, and I think he's at a very strong point in the game right now.
Yeah, I think he. I mean, with that secondary shotgun, I think that was the best buff they could have ever given him.
Yeah. Now, we do see the Firebirds running a very interesting composition here. They're running a Glaz, Thermite, Thatcher, Ying, and Ash. Now, they are going to be using that Thatcher mixed with that Thermite to open up the garage on the other side, or on the basement, it looked like. Hang on a second. This is the third time we're playing... Okay. Yeah, they're playing basement again.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
There's like 3 roamers right now. They could just blow up.
Yeah.
They already did.
That was a pretty interesting... Yeah, I was going to say, like, this is the third time the Firebirds have played on against the basement hold, and, I mean, it worked out the last round, so... But they're spicing it up. They're making sure to keep it interesting, adapting, improvising, and overcoming. But also... I mean, we see the Cougars have a ton of roamers, like you said. A lot different of a defense, which is, I mean, showing this variety. That is something where I would not be surprised, and I'm not surprised we're seeing in this postseason game. We're seeing players play smart, but you got to be watching out. I think the Firebirds are kind of just strategizing here, reading the situation. Teshi's like, "Hey, come hither, come forth! I have done the thing." And all the Firebirds are now pushing in. Now, when you have Xerxes, that's a great situation. As Glaz, I think Glaz is such a good person to hold here. But you gotta watch out because they have the mirror wall, and they have Azami, so you just gotta play it smart. But we do see a mixture of smoke grenades and flash grenades. I'm actually shocked. I mean, Quizby ran in trying to plant. Unfortunately, though, gunned down by Soy the Bean. But Firebirds are, you know, really making sure to hold it. They have a decent amount of time on the clock. They just need to kind of... Xerxes needs to get 1 or 2 really key picks here, and I think it's going to work out in their favor. But that mural wall is an issue. You need to be having something... I kind of wish Glaz's bullets would do a little bit of damage to a mural wall, or mural window.
Or Kali's, too.
Or I think both, in all honesty. Like, that's the thing. I think there's not really any counters to a distant Mira outside of maybe a smoke grenade, but Tuan taking a ton of damage there, unfortunately falling on the fireplace stairs, but that's going to be good because I'm expecting some of the Cougars to kind of push in, trying to finish him off, and the rest of the Firebirds are going to kind of stop that from happening. The proximity alarm kind of toying around with Ice Helix. Now, 10 seconds left on the clock. The Firebirds don't have the... Teshi has the diffuser. A Hobo taking out Ice Helix there, but you got to be watching out. The Firebirds need to push in.
There we go.
Tuan, though, is just going to lay down suppressive fire, taking one of the Cougars out. The clock is ticking down. Now is the time, but you have to be watching out here because you cannot afford, and we are going to see Kami Puppy try and push, and then Teshi knocking him down to a 1v1, but has the advantage because the diffuser is planted, and is just going to play the Claymore. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting that to work out, but it worked out. I can't believe Teshi got the plant off. Great teamwork from the Firebirds. They're trying to take it out, doing a little bit of damage there to Hobo, but it will be enough. Using the pillar for cover, having to pull out the sidearm because pulling out the sidearm is faster than reloading. And he's going to reload here.
Hopefully this goes through.
Now we're seeing Hobo kind of play it out.
There we go!
But Teshi's just different. That was beautifully played. I want Teshi... I want to... Oh, Teshi... If you're watching this after the game, that was phenomenal, and I have absolutely no notes for that strategy. That was exactly how you should play that. Turning the tide. They have to come to me.
Yep.
They're going to either come after you, or they're going to try and counter defuse. Now, Teshi had the advantage in basically all those areas. Outside of the point where, hey, maybe Teshi was out of the open, no cover, but was playing the pillar. Despite being like 20 feet away from the pillar, still had it as cover.
Hang on, can you shoot through that pillar?
No.
But it's made out of wood.
It's very thick wood. It's very, very strong wood.
So it's just immortal wood.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
That's interesting. That would be a nice nerf to this map if you could shoot through it.
If you could shoot through a single pillar.
They were just playing Ring Around the Rosie with the pillar.
I'm sorry, but I don't even think that's realistic. I gotta be honest. I think that pillar is thick enough that you would not be able to shoot.
Well, what if you just keep on shooting the same spot? Will the pillar eventually just blow up?
I want a map that is 100% destructible. I'm sorry. I want full
100% pillar.
I want to be able to shoot and destroy that pillar as Sledge, and then suddenly the entire building's collapsing. But as we hop into round 6, the Firebirds are leading 3-2 right now in map number 1. we do see the Edwardsville Cougars playing on that second floor site again. The Firebirds running, or the Cougars running a Thorn, Mozzie, Smoke, Legion, and Jaeger. Decent setup, decent variation on previous strategies. The Firebirds, though, not doing the fun strategy that we saw last time that kind of blew up in their face. But I think they kind of, maybe we're seeing the Cougars maybe expect that. So they're playing a slightly different composition, running a Knock, Ace, Dokkaebi, Ying, and Iana. Now, I'm liking that. It's a pretty well-rounded comp. And seeing how many roamers the Cougars are running right now, Dokkaebi's going to be a really good person to have. Now, you got to be watching out here. Ice Helix getting shot by Kami Puppy, who is kind of alone in Dining Room. But now the Firebirds know that they're there and are going to hopefully maybe... Oh, we do see the Dokkaebi camera going out. Is Kami Puppy missing those shots? Doing enough damage to, you know, knock Xerxes down to like a little bit of health, but no headshots. So now what's going to happen is we're going to see Xerxes, or no, not Xerxes, Teshi, hack it as Dokkaebi, and now the Firebirds have access to all of the cameras that the Cougars have. And that is a very, very bad thing because there's a decent amount of cameras here that the Firebirds could really take advantage of. Now, a beautiful, beautiful read there, communication from the Firebirds. We saw one of the Firebirds ping one of the Cougars through the wall, and we saw, who was that? That was
Twan.
Twan, yeah. Twan using that ping, using that mark, shooting through the wall, taking him out. Now Teshi using I forget what that's called. I always say the M14. Long distance shot, the DMR, taking out one of the Cougars. Now it is a 2v2 basically. Now Xerxes is downed, so that might be a little bit of a situation, but Cougars are probably going to be using Xerxes as bait. Xerxes does have intel. Unfortunately, the peak, that's the word I was looking for, was not enough, and unfortunately Hobo with a 4K there. Firebirds is kind of not pushing as a group, not pushing at the same time, and kind of caught off guard there. But it's 3-3 right now, and I think the Firebirds, when the Firebirds have lost, I think it's because they're just, you know, it's those little mistakes. You know, it's coming down to the Firebirds are getting it down to like a 4v1 or 3v1 or whatever, and just kind of losing their footing there. But again, when you're getting it that close, it means like there's just one mistake in a sense, you know. Hey, peak a little bit faster, push a little bit faster, push together as a team. And it's not like a long list of things you need to kind of change up there. That's what I always say. When you lose by like one round, that means it's like you made maybe one small mistake. And that's the big defining factor there. Which it's easier to fix one thing than 50 things. For the most part. But as we hop into round number 7, what does that mean? That means we're seeing the sides switch.
End of the first half? End
of the first half. The Firebirds are now defending, and the Cougars are going to be attacking now. The Firebirds on defense. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting right now just the solid defenses that we've seen so far in the past on Chalet. Like right now we're seeing the unconventional first sight going first floor. You know, you don't see that too much. Is that I do not like going up, but the Firebirds have made it work in such a way that they're able to kill a lot of time and just hold very strong. So I'm hoping for the same thing to go well here, that they can take control of library and second floor and just hold on to it. And same with the objective sites itself.
Yeah, now you got to be careful though, because the Firebirds, when you play the same strategy over and over again, teams that have watched you will know that, will expect that. And I got to say, though, the Cougars running a Flores is going to be a direct counter to some of the strategies the Firebirds play here. Now, it all depends on how well the Firebirds play it. It's going to help if they're able to use that Flores drone to destroy some of these shields and destroy some of this cover that the Firebirds are setting up. However, it all depends on if you're able to get the Flores drone off. Now, the Firebirds might be expecting it because they have fallen prey to that a few times. So it might be a good thing for them to kind of switch up here. They have no cameras. The Firebirds have no cameras.
There we go.
I think either that was a glitch or somehow the Cougars destroyed every single camera that the Firebirds had.
No, it was that one horror movie, The Ring.
The Ring, yeah. 7 days, you know. Here goes those Flores drones. The Flores drones opening up a lot of that flooring on the second floor, allowing them to kind of peer below. Hobo is running that sledge, which is going to allow them to do it again. However, we have seen the Firebirds time and time again, especially on this site, where the other team, the enemy team, is able to kind of open up a lot of that vertical play. But the Firebirds are just going to play off the site. They're going to play, I'm going to aim on the site, make sure you can't enter it. And Teshi getting an early pick on the Ying is going to be crucial there. But like I was saying, the Firebirds just going to play off site. Make sure that I'm not on site, you can't see me. You can see on the point, sure, but you can't see me. In the wise words of John Cena.
Ooh, dear.
Hobo with a very, very near perfect flick, it looked like. Great flick there, kind of jerking the camera in a really quick manner to literally flick the mouse basically onto the Firebird, onto Xerxes there. Unfortunately, it did not work out, but we do see them opening up more lines of sight onto point. And will we see the Firebirds kind of get some success? 35 seconds on the clock. Once again, the Cougars could open up all the lines of sight onto point they want, but if they're not able to actually enter point, they're not going to be able to do anything.
Well said. Yeah, there's 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
This
20 seconds
they gotta
left.
start pushing.
Yeah, but now you see they have at their disposal. The Cougars only have a flash grenade. Oh, I was gonna say they had a frag grenade, but they had since used it, and the Firebirds are still standing now. Andy Bing pushing in the fire, and we see Tuan getting the pick. The Firebirds are just slowly gonna be pushing in. The diffuser's being planted by Waffles, but we're seeing a just beautiful play here from all of the Firebirds.
There we go.
Ice Helix pushing in. What a play there. Now we saw the Cougars were trying to focus on, I believe it was Teshi on the other side of that wall. You know, fighting that, having that gunfight, having that exchange. Worrying about him, forgetting that Ice Helix is just like gonna creep around the corner, just peek around and be like, "Oh hi,
oh
you're gone, you're done, you're done," and it worked out. The Firebirds coming around with success, but they need to increase this lead. I think 4-3 right now is really close to call. You know, you can't get too comfortable with this right now. So I'm hoping that we see it improve, you know? But again, it all depends on if you win or not. Like, the round difference at this point does not matter.
Yeah.
We are in the postseason, so all that matters is a map win. The map is what matters.
Well, it's great right now just because the Firebirds are also going to do the unconventional method again and going for kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen strategy, I think it's high risk, high reward. I think it's because it's you got to be worrying about that vertical from above and from below attacks.
Yeah.
And looking at their composition, we have an Oryx, Valkyrie, Jaeger, Frost, and Castle. Really good defensive strategy, especially with that Oryx being able to kind of flank around, you know, being able to play below, above, using
it's a
hatches.
Great verticality, I'd say. I mean, it's just such an awkward site because it's in the middle of the map. It's connected to everything, but at the same time, you can shut everything down so far. It's hard to get into that kitchen area, but there's multiple different ways you can do it. That's the beauty and curse of it.
Yeah, that's why I think Oryx is better than Caveira, because we don't see Caveira at this high-level play. And I think it's because Oryx is just so much more mobile, you know. And I'm wondering if they're ever gonna maybe rework Caveira.
I doubt it. She's just really good for lower lobbies. You know,
yeah, she's really good at the low ranks, but like not played at all at the upper ranks.
Well, she does have some really good guns too, so even just using her for the guns, but she's a very, very selfish operator. She's good because she has that silence up. You can't really hear her, so you really need to be turning your headphones up. But at the same time, you'll never get used to her second special ability, which is interrogation, and it'll show. It takes about 5 seconds for it to go through, and it will just reveal everybody on the map. But it's just tough to do so in these lobbies because everyone's there to help out their teammates. So immediately, that Caveira is going to be gone.
Now, I got to bring attention to, we do have a Valkyrie, and you got to be watching out for that Dokkaebi. Now, the Dokkaebi is able to get the cell phone of anybody the Cougars are able to take out. The Cougars are going to be able to hack it. Specifically, Soy the Bean on Dokkaebi. It's going to be able to hack it and then just view any of those cameras. So you got to be watching out for that. Now we do see Hobo throwing the frag grenade onto Quizby. Unfortunately, Quizby probably just positioned incorrectly there, not able to move away. Teshi, though, getting an early pick on the fuse, which honestly, the fuse, now the Firebirds not having to worry about them, is going to be a really good thing. Teshi making sure to use a little bit of a distance. There goes the first Dokkaebi phone call. Few of the Firebirds maybe kind of revealed there. hard to say at this point, but we do see the Flores drone really opening up some of these walls, opening up more of a line of sight onto cover, helping Teshi in all honesty. Andy Bink, though, moving down the trophy stairs, and more vertical play being done by... I'm sorry, Andy Bink hitting almost everything but the Firebird until the last second. I've done that number of times, so you know, all the respect, I've done that so many times. It's just kind of embarrassing. It's always when the camera's on you too. I gotta say though,
that's a good one.
You gotta be watching out for this long distance line of sight. The Firebirds 2 against 4. You gotta be taking out some of these picks. Now 18 seconds left. The timer might be the ally here. It might be the win condition. But we do see Andy Bink was able to push onto sight. Unfortunately, Ice Helix taken out here. It is not looking good for Twan. Twan not knowing that the plant is going off. And unfortunately, Hobo was able to get that pick on Twan. Now, the biggest issue was, and I say this all the time, opening up some of these holes in the walls, leaving some of these walls, soft walls, it causes so many issues sometimes. Yep. You know, I hate it because there are times where you're playing ranked, you know, and you try to reinforce a wall because, hey, I don't care. I want full-on defense here, full-on reinforcements. And there's a bunch of people who will argue, you know, oh my gosh, don't reinforce that. Put in a rotate hole. That is why I reinforce some of those walls, because I don't want them to have a direct line of sight onto point without even being near point.
Yeah.
And that staircase, I gotta say, just that's exactly what I would do as if I were on the Cougars. I would just open up that wall and suddenly you have all the line of sight that you can just have a great time with. Because the Firebirds are not, when you're on defense, you are not accurate long distance for the most part. You have the disadvantage there if you are long distance, and you have to be protecting against that. Now, as we move on to round 9, it is now tied 4-4. The Firebirds still on that defense, but on the second floor site, running an Oryx, Kaid, Jaeger, Clash, and Valkyrie. Looking at Edwardsville running a Kali, Iana, Ace, Dokkaebi, and Sledge. Now, Kali is the counter to a Clash, but we've seen it time and time again where you could be countering our Twan on Clash, and it's just not going to work out for you. So it all depends on whether or not the Cougars are actually going to be playing Kali, as you should. You use your rifle to take out or to stagger the Clash, and then you have somebody else, you know, swoop in and get the kill.
Exactly, yes. Hopefully that's going to work well for them.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to be making their way up onto the balcony.
Yeah, you got to say it's a very, very slow and steady game tonight. Waffles bot really, really trying to push through that library. They were able to secure it, but you got to be hoping the Firebirds are going to be expecting that, because they don't seem to have many people pushing up towards that area. And there's a decent amount of time on the clock. Now, Soy the Bean might be pushing in through that bathroom, while we do see Andy Bink is on that mezzanine, on that fireplace lobby. This all depends on how they play it. Now, Andy Bink taken out by Xerxes. Great roaming play from Xerxes once again, able to take out that ace, which is the hard breach, as I just noticed, which means they're not going to really have anything to take out that wall. Despite the Kali charges, they're not going to have anything to take out that wall. So Xerxes, a double kill there.
Wow, there we go.
Quizby taking out Hobo. The Firebirds are reading the Cougars like a book, taking Wafflebot, downing Wafflebot, I should say.
There we go.
Firebirds flawless in... hang on a second. Did Xerxes get a 4K that round?
Wow.
Oh my gosh, what a play. I mean, Xerxes... That is the thing I say every week, okay? And I really can't stress it. Every single one of these Firebirds is phenomenal, I gotta say. It's not like, you know, you have one person who's like their top fragger, you know, getting all these top kills. Now, every once in a while, we see like Ice Helix just be phenomenal. I am getting word that wasn't a 4K, but my thing still stands where every single one of these players is leading in kills, but is able to kind of, oh hey, this round I'm going to play more supportive. They're all I would say hybrid, where they can play, you know, I'm going to get kills or I'm going to support the killers, and it's beautiful to see that because it's everybody working together as one. Now, Not saying that when you're supporting a fragger, that's not you helping out.
Yeah.
But it's just an even spread, and it's so it's so nice.
It warms
to see.
your heart.
It warms my heart, and it's just really nice to see that. It's satisfying. But round number 10, the Firebirds are going to be holding that first floor site again in that games room and bar area. Now, running that Alibi, Jaeger, Azami, Frosted Castle. Pretty similar strategy from what they normally play on the site, but with some slight variations. And looking at Cougars running a Flores IQ, Ace, Lion, and Sledge. What are your thoughts on that? On the Cougars?
I'm a little bit scared about it, to be honest. I never like going up against Lion, just in those, especially with teams like this. If you have a Lion on the team, they're all going to be coordinated. They know exactly when to use their Lion charge. So it scares me a little bit. And same with a lot of hard breach and soft breach. You know, it's just going to be a very, very explosive round.
Yeah, I'm loving to see what is going to be happening in these next few moments. The Flores is always a pick. I've said that time and time again. Flores on this map is almost a must. And as a Flores main, I love it. I do love it. I do love to see when teams know know when to play Flores, because he's such a powerful operator. When there's not a mute. When there is a mute, that's a whole different discussion. But
hey, it still goes off though once the mute charge goes down.
When the mute charge goes off, yeah. I thought you were gonna say when it gets jammed. I go, nope. I've learned that the hard way. But we do see, I think the Cougars, pushing into that office, opening up that line of sight onto the staircase is going to be pretty good. Here goes the second to last Flores drone, maybe opening up the shield, but it's not enough. Waffles is not able to activate it. You got to activate it before you, as you jump. Because then, as it's activated, it becomes bulletproof. And then you can't shoot it. No, wait, I lied. It's not bulletproof, is it? I feel like they changed it at one point.
Until... it's bulletproof when it's clicked, but when it's not clicked, it's anyone's game.
Unfortunately, Teshi and Xerxes are picked off kind of before this next fight, which losing an Azami and an Alibi is pretty heartbreaking, but they were playing a little bit more aggressive, I think, and they're going to be we're going to see a repeat of last round where, unfortunately, Tuan is taken out of this fight, but I think I was going to say, maybe a repeat of last time we saw the site where we see them kind of play a little bit too slow in a sense, but I got to say, when it's 5v2, you're at that advantage. You're having a massive advantage here. It is now Ice Helix and Quizby versus the entirety of SIUE. What will we see any clutch plays here?
I would hope so.
I hope so. I mean, this is when Ice Helix gets an ace. I'm predicting it. Quizby, though, turning their back to a Cougar who is pushing, unfortunately, but we're going to see the diffuser go off for the Cougars, and now
there
Ice
we go.
Needing to get this. Now, 1v2, Ice Helix getting the trade, I think. Oh, very, very close there. Honestly, if I were the Cougars, I would be a little bit... I wouldn't be scared in a sense, but, like, that was way too close. You had a massive advantage, and there was one player who was, like, just kind of even the odds a little bit. Again, the Cougars, I think, did really well. I think it caught a few of the Firebirds off guard, and getting those early picks is exactly what you want. But I'd be a little bit, I personally would, because I know just how dominant of a player Ice Helix can be, and... kind of don't want that. You don't want a single player who could win a 1v4 time and time again.
Yeah.
It's not every time. It's not 100%. I'd say it's like a 58% chance that Ice Helix is going to win that. My numbers
That's pretty accurate.
I would like to think it's accurate. I think we've seen enough 1v4s from Ice Helix to kind of do that. Kind of estimate that it's higher than the average person.
Yeah.
However, you're still at that advantage. So you just need to be playing smart. And I think we saw there maybe a little bit, some of the Cougars maybe a little bit too aggressive, like too excited, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to win this.
Yeah.
And pushing Ice Helix, that allowed Ice Helix to basically just press left mouse and hold it until, two Cougars get taken out.
I will say, though, I think the reason, that obviously we just had that timeout. I think the main reasoning thing right now is that Firebirds are not winning the rounds that they should.
Exactly.
Is that they're playing a lot of first floor, but they're giving up second floor a lot. And it's just allowing the Cougars to gain such a big advantage, and I think that's the main point that they were talking about in the timeout. So hopefully we're going to see a little bit more aggression to that, because they are going first floor again. They're going kitchen. So hopefully they're going to have a better hold on second floor.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think of all the rounds the Firebirds have lost, not all of them, but it's a larger number than not. I think. I would like to watch the clip back, but it's those small mistakes, those stupid mistakes. Hey, why'd you both push the same angle? Or why did you turn your back to this person when you knew they were there, or something like that? Which, again, small mistake. Yes, it did have kind of a decently sized effect. It's a butterfly effect, but it's moments like that where it's like, you should not have done that. Why are we losing these rounds that we had the advantage of? Cougars have won a few rounds where it's just kind of outplaying them. You know, I can't deny that, but the Firebirds have lost. Like the one round where it was a 4v1 and we still lost that because we just planted wrong or whatever. It was a moment like that where I think Ice Helix should have kind of rotated around. Hey, I can't see the diffuser. I need to be moving away. I need to be moving to the point where I can see the diffuser. But we can see the Firebirds adapt here very shortly. I'm expecting them as we see them running that first floor site on Oryx, Valkyrie, Mute, Frost, and Castle. Again, slight variation to keep things a little bit on edge, a little bit interesting. But we do see them. We do see the Cougars playing that low in that garage. As Buck, that is a bad thing. Now Sledge is going to be doing the opposite of Buck, Sledge is going to be pushing second floor, and then kind of opening up some of the flooring there. I'm sure about it. But Cougars running a Buck, IQ, Ace, Lion, and Sledge. Pretty similar strategy from before. This time though has the Buck. Both teams are really making sure to spice it up. They might be switching one or two operators, but it's really one or two operators who are very, very much changing the strategy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, right now, minute 30 in, not a lot of progress in the basement, and it doesn't look too much on the second floor. I don't know what the concern is of pushing forward is so far in that garage.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either now. Unfortunately, Ice Helix taken out rather early on from one of the Cougars. And Quizby, though, taking out Hobo, who is top fragging right now for the Cougars, 15-8. Quizby getting that pick might be the advantage the Firebirds want right here, especially since that is Sledge. Sledge being able to do the death from above strategy is a pretty good person. But Xerxes finishing off Andy Bink and knowing that there is going to be a Cougar up there. However, you have it's Teshi and Xerxes left against 3 of the Cougars. But Xerxes knows somebody's there. Is going to be trying to maybe force a gunfight here.
I would run back.
I would too, but there goes the first Lion charge. And I think that's the last one. Very true. Teshi, though, being blinded, but still getting the pick. Unfortunately, getting a refrag there, but the Firebirds, we got to see Xerxes play a magical play here. 1v2, 20 seconds left, but we do see that the Cougars are going to be planting. So I expect, since Soy the Bean is going to be planting, I'm expecting, a little bit of a switch up here. Xerxes missing a few shots, maybe not expecting somebody to be moving in that corner, but the diffuser has been planted. We could see Xerxes turn the tide, I think, with just one kill here. You got to be watching that clock, though. 30 seconds left on the clock, and you have to use every second of it, basically. Xerxes, though, not able to win that 1v1. Unfortunate positioning. I think there was just way too much ground for him to cover as he rotated back.
Yeah, that was just really tough. A few too many roamers, I say.
Yeah.
It's just getting picked off. It was really good for the second floor, but only one Firebird was left to defend, and I think that was a real big problem. So it was trying to fix a problem that they had the last time that the last time that they were on kitchen, and another problem arose. So it's a little bit tough trying to
need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
what's the word? What's the word, like sorting your assets around? Diversifying assets? Prioritizing assets, that's it. Just around the map.
Marketing major.
Hey! I'm off duty right now.
You're off duty, all right. But I got to say here, now SIUE is in the lead right now, and it's on match point. The first time since winning round number 1 that they have been in the lead, I believe. Now, the Firebirds cannot afford to lose it here. They have to win, because then it's no longer match point for the teams. But I gotta see what the Firebirds are gonna be playing here.
5
They
seconds
have to be
remaining.
playing it smart, and they're on that second floor, which again, we're just seeing a lot of kind of, like we were saying, kind of stupid mistakes, where it's like, all right, you know, maybe rotate around or almost out. That last round with Xerxes, just unfortunate circumstances. Did everything he could, just not being able to kind of read the situation, you know, not being able to know that somebody's in that corner, which is very, very difficult, I promise you. To the viewers who have never played this game before, it is not easy. That being said, Tuan on that clash, the Firebirds running a Valkyrie, Jaeger, Kaid, and Oryx to complement the clash. And we do see the Cougars running a Gridlock, Iana, Ace, Lion, and Sledge. Again, I think Hobo likes Sledge.
I think so.
Hobo might like
I mean,
Sledge.
it's working.
Yeah, Sledge works in every composition, in all honesty, having a phenomenal kit with every aspect.
Oh,
Frag
yeah.
grenades, sledgehammer, a great assault rifle.
What more could you want?
Exactly. However,
Another hammer.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, though, the only sort of hard breach they have is Ace, and they have no anti-electricity against Quizby's Kaid. And that is, you got to be watching out. Now, they do have the frag grenades, which could be the winning condition. And we're going to see two of the Cougars potentially rotate around trying to take out the Cade Claw, but if Quizby is able to position it properly, it is not going to be easy for them to take out. Which I know, because Quizby has taught me several Cade Claw positions. Xerxes getting a double kill there!
There we go. Just a little bit of revenge from the last round.
What a I gotta say though, like Xerxes, weeks before we've talked about Teshi, we've talked about Tuan, Ice Helix, whatever. Xerxes, man, come on, like what a player, getting so many beautiful flank kills, catching the Cougars off guard, reading them like a book sometimes. You gotta be watching out for that. Now we do see Soy the Bee not knowing somebody is right there. Teshi was able to kind of just play the smart place. Unfortunately, we do see that they were able to destroy the Electro Claw, denying them that wall, but Clash is just going to kind of stand in the way, play the intel, 40 seconds on the clock, and I got to say, we could see the Firebirds lose this. You know, we've seen them
It is two top fraggers. This is scary.
Very true, but like I've said, the Firebirds are just consistent across the board, so you have like 4 top fraggers against 2 top fraggers. You know, who's going to be supporting who in this case. But when you have Tuan on that clash, you're going to be able to read them like a book. And because they're able to be slowed,
there we go.
Quizby with a double kill.
How many headshots has Quizby gotten tonight? That was insane.
Well, more than 2 apparently. At least 2. I can say with 100% guarantee at least 2 based on that last round.
I think every single time I've seen it in the feed, it's been a headshot. I think we...
Well, okay, this might shock you, but a headshot is like a one-shot kill, so it's a very common way to get a kill.
I know, but I mean,
if
like, I don't think there was...
bullet hits somebody in the head, they're gone. They're out for the count.
I know, but every time I look at it, I just like normally you see a few body shots in the feed. It's just like I'm only seeing headshots from
well,
Quizby.
you could
like,
get a few body shots and then the headshot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't get 100% headshot.
You don't know what this game is, Toner. You don't know.
Hey.
You don't know.
Yes, I do.
I know. You have more hours in this game than I do, and you also know this game far better than I do. That's why I said, hey, Toner, you want to cast Rainbow Six with me?
Taking a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, this could be the last game we cast Siege ever.
No. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think
I was
about
gonna say that earlier.
Don't
hang on.
think about it.
It's overtime. We got to strategize. We got to go back to the game. We'll talk about it later.
No, we're not gonna talk about it.
Oh my god! But if the Firebirds win, then we cast next week. But we do see it is now overtime, meaning neither team is in match point. Unless they win this, then they're a match point. But Firebirds are going to be defending again, running an Oryx, Kaid, Smoke, Legion, and Jaeger. Whereas looking at the Cougars, running that Dokkaebi, Thatcher, Thermite, Lion, and Sledge. 2 very strong compositions against each other. But the Firebirds running that defense on the basement, which I got to say it's another situation, or a similar situation maybe, kind of just... play the lack of hard breach, but you do have 2 people with EMP grenades and a frag grenade. Or, you know, the Sledge has frag grenades, so, like, We'll see. It's not going to be as easy. They do have a Thatcher as well, which I completely missed.
They really want the
apparently.
walls open.
They really want to make sure, hey, I can open up walls. But, you know, the Firebirds are going to hopefully expect that when they're running.
Uh-oh.
There goes the first EMP grenade. And there goes the second. Thatcher, or Thermite is going to be opening up that wall. But TV Kami Puppy kind of in the opening of the hallway for a little bit longer than I think I would have been a little bit scared there. Like, oh, I got to run away, hide to cover. The Firebirds playing it smart, though, playing out of that line of sight. And maybe expecting, you know, maybe Hobos. We do see Hobos going to be rotating around, maybe catching a Firebird off guard, but maybe a Firebird catching them off guard. It's hard to say at this point. It all depends, though. We can see always looking for the frost mats, which is something. It's when you look for them, you never catch them. Xerxes, though, unfortunately taken out by Hobo. An early pick the Firebirds are unfortunately going to have to deal with. That being said, he went out with a fight, and he took a ton of damage off of Hobo's clock. A Hobo's health pool, I should say. I was going to say, knock your clock off, you know. You know. Turn the time. Turn the time. I'm sorry. I'm in a poetry course right now. I'm in a poetry course right now, so I got all these, you know, poems flowing through me. We need to slam poetry in it. But
I'm not good at that.
unfortunately, Teshi's feet out in the open, taking a ton of damage, but it wasn't enough to get a pick. 40 seconds on the clock, and the smoke grenades are being timed by Teshi. Unfortunately, though, peeking, not getting picked off. Ice Helix getting a little bit of a pick there on Kami Puppy, 2 against 3. And you got to be watching out now that the Dokkaebi charge went off, but that is the last one. The phones are going to stop ringing very shortly and never ring again. But you need to be playing smart. 2 against 3, 1 against 3.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the Cougars are going to be taking this round, giving them match point this next round. But the Firebirds could come back and tie it up again. And I think, they're switching sides now. So the Firebirds are now on the attack. I'm expecting it to be a very long night tonight. I'm calling it here. We're on map 1, and we're already on round 14.
Geez, yeah, what time is it?
It's late.
Time.
It's time.
It's time.
It is at least time. At least 7 o'clock. I can guarantee
or
you
at
that.
most time.
Anyways. I'm the one in the poetry course. I'm the one who makes it up.
Hey, I can art down poetry.
Okay. That's Shakespeare, but okay.
That is a poet. Is it not?
He's a playwright. Or a playwright, if you want. If you want to add some
He does some poetry.
Sure. Same with me. I'm a poet too. I've written poems.
Bearded man, down let thy hair.
Can we talk about Siege, please? Not my poems.
No.
My classes are only in the mornings. This is not poetry course. But it is overtime match point. It is now the Cougars in match point again, but they have swapped. Now they're on the defense, running that Mira, Kaid, Smoke, Legion, and Azami. The Firebirds cannot afford to lose this round. Looking at the Firebirds, though, running that Hibana, Thermite, Thatcher, Ying, and Iana. Very strong composition that we've seen a lot of success from the Firebirds in the past. What are you expecting from both teams here?
I'm expecting a really difficult hold right now for the Cougars. Like their defense on basement is just really, really, really good. Very solid, and I think they do have one roamer around, if I'm not mistaken. I think I only saw 4 inside. So that's going to be tough, because then you have to constantly be looking behind your back, trying to figure out where the roamer's at. So that's going to kill some time, but hopefully the Firebirds can find a way to push in and just put a lot of pressure onto the Cougars.
Definitely, but you got to be watching this clock. You have to be, every second counts at this point. Every decision counts, but the Firebirds doubling down on that destruction. That's some alliteration for you. Doubling down on that destruction.
I thought poetry class was done. You told me no more.
It was back on for a split second. Teshi missing one of the EMP grenades. Unfortunately, that is going to cost the Firebirds 1 EMP grenade. So, Quizbee's going to be opening up that wall onto Cellar, using that Thermite charge, allowing them to maybe opening up a little bit of line of sight. Now, you got to be watching out, though, because this is a similar strategy we've seen from the Firebirds time and time again. Ice Helix, though, getting an early pick on Soy the Bean. evening or allowing them to have a little bit more of a 5v4, now 5v3 in favor of the Firebirds, but you still have a lot of game to be played here. 3 of the Cougars remain, and the smoke has 2 smoke grenades left. So you have to be timing those out because those smoke grenades could stall for a long, long time. That being said, we do see a lot of the Firebirds playing that vertical play. Teshi missing a little bit of one of the Cougars in the doorway, unfortunately getting taken out by the Cade shotgun, which is a beautiful, beautiful gun. But, you know, 50 seconds left. The Firebirds have the advantage, just a slight advantage though. And there goes one more smoke grenade. The Firebirds are going to be able to maybe push in a little bit faster here, but you have to be pushing in soon. They're very much waiting for the moment. They're waiting for the strategy, waiting for the moment to tap. I said moment twice, but it's okay.
Moment of moment. Yeah, right now, Firebirds really need to push hard and fast, and you got to deal with that Azami. That's going to be the toughest thing right now.
Now they see the smoke, they down the smoke, Twan is gonna survive there. That's the last smoke grenade down. The C4 unfortunately doing enough damage that Hobo's gonna be able to meet it with some more damage. It is now 2v1 Xerxes and Ice Helix against Hobo. Ice Helix was able to run away and the plant has gone off, but you have to be positioned. You cannot afford to lose this. The Firebirds need to be making sure they have view of the diffuser at all times. And here we're going to see maybe Xerxes getting taken out. Missing some of those shots. Xerxes, though, getting down. It is now 1v1. Ice Helix versus Hobo, a matchup, a truly legendary matchup here.
15 seconds.
Yeah, but the zombie wall is going to go. Oh, this is going to be unfortunate. Ice Helix, though. Oh, this timing.
Oh, come on. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, what a beautiful play by Ice Helix. My heart cannot take that again. Please don't let this round come down to that again. I know you can't hear me, but I know future you's gonna be watching this VOD regardless. Don't ever do that again.
Give him some poetry for that.
Ice Helix built on another level. Ice in his veins. Yeah, that's poetry though.
Oh, that is true.
I'm not good on the spot, Toner.
You got it. I believe right now.
No. After, if we win nationals, I will write a poem. If the R16 wins nationals, I will write a poem about our R16.
Is it poem or poem?
Poem.
It's poem.
Poem.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's some people that call it poem.
What is happening here? All right, overtime match point. This is it. Overtime. Winner takes all. Whoever wins this round, it works out. Now, the Firebirds are on defense. Running an Oryx, Kaid, Jaeger, Clash, and Wamai against the Edwardsville Cougars. The Southern Illinois University Edwardsville Cougars. Zofia, Iana, Ace, Lion, and Sledge on the attack. Now, the Firebirds are on that second floor, and this is it. This is what matters. They cannot afford to lose this round. Neither team can. Sets the stage for the next map, but it is a best-of-3 series, so there's plenty of Siege to be played. What will we see from the Firebirds here?
Hopefully a really good hold. We're getting that Clash back, so hopefully that's gonna work pretty well. It looks like Twan's going out of the balcony to say hello a little bit, and it looks like the Cougars are gonna be pushing in from around the north side, so that's a really good place. That's the place that we never like to go up the Solarium stairs. Which I would really like to see. I think Solarium's really, really, really good.
Oh, you got to be watching out for these long angles, though. I mean, Soy the Bean with that DMR is able, but I think there is a Firebird who's expecting it, so they're not really going to be pushing in. But there goes, we see the Wamai, little slippery there, able to kind of move around. But here we go, see Andy Bink on that Solarium window, long angle onto sight, but the Firebirds just need to make sure, hey, don't push here. Don't push in.
Oh, no.
My gosh. Unfortunately, the frag grenade timing, a little bit interesting there. But will Kami the puppy be able to get it?
4.
Unfortunately, not getting any sort of damage on Twan. I didn't...
Is my camera bugging? Did the grenade go up and then go down a little bit?
I think it bounced off the ceiling.
Oh.
Just very weird timing there on the grenade, but I don't know the timing either. I don't know the timing. would not be able to do it.
I just didn't know if if it exploded.
I'm better with
on,
impact grenades, in all
yeah.
honesty, because then I can time it.
I mean, like that. You
Yeah.
know when it explodes.
It explodes after enough time. We gotta see though. I mean, the Zofia
Ooh, that's a good push.
having one more concussion grenade. The Firebirds are probably gonna. They're probably saving it for that Clash. Now Clash taking only a little bit of poke damage there with that grenade. Unfortunately, they're really getting caught off guard. A lot of explosions going off, and it's funny because I think a lot of those were their own grenades. There goes the Lion Charge. Unfortunately, Ice Helix taken out by... Oh, this is unfortunate. Soybean taking out Ice Helix, but Teshi was able to get a pick on Kami Puppy. Hobo taking out Teshi. It is now 3 against 4. 30 seconds left. The Firebirds need to be playing this smart. And we see they're going to be they're going to be planting. And Quizby needs to get up there, taking it out. But Tuan is taken out because he's alone. Xerxes, though, coming in with a double kill, evening it out. 22 seconds left.
And Diffuser has not been planted.
Diffuser has not been planted. Xerxes is still
15.
alive and well. Quizby is still on the site, waiting for somebody to push in, getting a little bit of damage, knocking it down.
Oh,
It is now
there we
Quizby,
go.
And Xerxes wins. Oh my gosh! I gotta say though,
Don't do that ever again.
oh my gosh, this is. We might have 3 more weeks of of increasing intensity of this. Oh my gosh! I gotta say though, my MVPs of that map was Quizby and Xerxes, and I'm so glad that was their last 2 of that map. Look, what a beautiful kill spread though. I mean, Xerxes 15, Quizby going 12 and 8. Oh, what a beautiful map. Setting the tone for map number 2 though, and it is only 8 o'clock, so we're just. I'm honestly shocked. That was an hour. It felt like a lot longer than an hour.
Yeah.
But we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break before we head into map number 2, which will be Border. And I gotta say that is going to be a very interesting map to watch, especially with the Firebirds coming off kind of an unfortunate loss last week to SHSU. But we'll be back in about 5 minutes with that map, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to tonight's Rainbow Six Siege Rainbow Six Siege game. I'm sorry. I'm tripping over my words after that map one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, round 15, you do not see that. We've come close. We've seen rounds 14 all the time. But round 15, it is the NECC quarterfinals of Rainbow Six Siege. Like I said, the Firebirds against the Southern Illinois University Edwardsville Cougars. Now, Firebirds last round, I mean, it came close. It came down to the last second.
Mm-hmm.
However, Xerxia, I gotta say, with that beautiful double kill at the end, turning the turntables in favor of the Firebirds was beautiful to see. It was magical. It was perfect. And I mean, Quizby too, contributing to a bunch of those kills. Definitely those two popped off that map. Now heading into map number 2, Border. Firebirds have had very little experience on this map. Playing last week against SHSU on this map. Unfortunately, SHSU, that's a really good team, a really bad team to kind of, set the tone of our quality, our skills on maps against, because they're undefeated. Because, they just, I guess, are just really good at the game. But I think the Firebirds did show us last week that they were able to beat SHSU. It came close, coming down to, I believe it was a 8-6 in that map number 1. But I'm curious to see what the Firebirds are going to pull out of their magical hat of tricks on Border. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting, hopefully, that the Firebirds have been working on Border since last week and have been just trying new methods of attack and defense. So hopefully it's going to go a little bit more smoother, and we're going to see a little bit more flexibility like we always see in Chalet, like we see on Cafe, and like we see on Oregon. Is that once we're comfortable with the map, like there's no stopping the Firebirds.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we saw that amazing tactic having the Amaru, having the Ying, and having what's the last one I'm looking for? On the window that they went up to on Chalet.
Legion?
No.
Ace.
Ace
went to the
yes.
window, yeah.
Just that amazing play right there, and then having Sniper. Glass. There we go.
Kali.
Watching
Buck
their back.
can sometimes have a sniper.
Oh, sometimes. Yeah, I mean, just having those really unique play styles that you don't see every day. So hopefully that they have those tactics for this map.
I am excited to see. Now, honestly, since last week, I have realized how much I don't like this map. In all honesty,
I said,
it's not that it's my least favorite map by any means. It's just like I really just. It's a very unique map. I think when I do really well, I do really well on this map, and then when I'm not doing well, I do very badly on this map. More often the latter, but we'll see. I think there is a winning strategy to this map. We said it last week. We'll say it again. You need to board the helicopter. You need to attempt to board the helicopter. And whoever says it otherwise.
He specifically says not to board the helicopter.
I'm going to explain the joke because I do think there were some people in chat last week who didn't understand it. There's a very loud announcer on this map who just constantly shouts, "Do not attempt to board the helicopter." And I think when the map first came out, it was extremely loud. And they actually had to lower the volume by quite a bit. Okay, hang on a second. So, picks and bans, they're banning, Edwardsville is banning Ying. Target ban. We need like a graphic for a target ban here. A target ban against Tuan. And I gotta say, every single time I think there's been...
It's just Tuan.
I can see who the Cougars are scared of. It's very, very clear. Now, they've had issues with all the Firebirds at this point, but it's very clear they're scared of Tuan. They don't want Tuan playing any of them. Clash or a Ying. That is like the 4th target ban of the season. However, every time there's been a target ban, it's never worked out. It's never worked out for those who are doing the target banning. The Firebirds know, Tuan specifically, knows how to just play other people and play other people really well. So I don't think it's going to work out as successfully as they would think. Now, Mira ban is going to be good, and I'm glad we're seeing a Mira ban from the Firebirds. A Jackal Mira is a very standard duo, But those two people are very, very powerful on this map, especially Mira. I mean,
Attackers
come
need to
on.
locate
The
and
amount of
defuse as many
destructible
bombs
walls
as
on
they
this
can.
map that you can use that Mira wall onto is just phenomenal. It's insane.
Especially on second floor too.
Oh,
One of the
yes.
most dangerous dangerous sites in the entire game.
Now, the Firebirds are starting off on defense here, and I think the Firebirds do well on defense here, so I think they have the advantage here. They're running a Jaeger, Kaid, Alibi, Maestro, and Mute. Twan is just unfazed by the Clash ban, so again, it has never worked out in the past, despite the target bans. Twan just kind of adapts.
It's Twan's good luck charm
Exactly.
if he gets target banned.
It's his main. It's very clear, but he's just going to be like, okay, I'll play somebody else. But we do see that the Cougars are running a Brava, Iana, Ace, Lion, and Sledge. Now, Brava has to be careful. You have to be careful of those Jaeger. Yeah, I'd say a little bit of the Jaeger, but especially the Maestro cameras. You have to watch out for those because those can be pretty malicious in a sense. If hacked, I mean, we could see moments where you could be trying to counter diffuse, and then the Maestro camera just kind of zaps you. And we are seeing the Maestro camera be hacked by the Brava drone, and there's the ADS. That is 2 hacks down from the Brava drone, but we're going to see the Mute just kind of move around and probably shoot those hacked devices. Sure, the Firebirds are not going to be able to use them, but nor can the Cougars.
However, it's going to be tough getting that Maestro cam out because it is almost completely bulletproof.
Yeah, but I think you can pick it up. I think Maestro
can pick it up, yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say though, it was kind of funny. Soy the Bean as Lion, making sure to be on the other side of the map, basically using that 3 times, so it's probably literally inches away from their monitor. I can guarantee you. It's right up against the monitor. Within inches, within like 2 inches, I should
Just
say.
waiting for the 1 pixel to turn a different color.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Now, here goes the Lion charge. Xerxes taken out by that rush. However, I think technically I'd say it's a 4v4 because Lion is not in sight, not in the building. The Firebirds can kind of just adapt here. And here goes Kami Puppy trying to time a frag grenade, getting it off there. Going to be using the second one probably somewhere. Unfortunately, not doing any sort of damage to the Firebirds, but it's probably tactical, making sure to open up common areas that people kind of like to sit. And then I expect Kami Puppy to be in that area from below, maybe taking somebody out if needed. We do see the Sledge is going to be pushing forward through that security doorway. Kami Puppy taken out by Teshi, though. It is now very much even, 4 against 4. But I miss Xerxes. I miss him.
I do too.
Xerxes,
Oh,
if
look,
you're watching.
Teshi has the bolo charm.
Yeah, Teshi, though, just going to peek and take out the Sledge. A double kill for Teshi. Hobo, it looked like Hobo almost hurt him, but then didn't. And then there was like that probably second and a half where they kind of just looked at each other. And then
He looked
Teshi
at
was
me,
like, oh, hey.
and I looked at him.
Oh, boy. Of all the songs to sing, that one, come on.
Hey!
Ice Helix, though, there goes the second Lion Pulse.
Ooh.
And Ice Helix
Sneaky.
using a little bit, seeing the shots, but not able to take it. But is able to
There we go.
meet the head of Ace. Teshi with a triple
Wow.
kill. Will Teshi get the 4K? I'm hoping.
Let's see it.
Teshi with. Oh wait, no, just kidding. It was Lion. Hang on a second. It was Lion, who was probably like miles away. Then Ice Helix, though, with the shotgun.
Whoa!
Other side.
You know,
of
that's
the
not how
room.
shotguns are supposed
That's
to be.
That's not even the slug shotgun. That's just a simple mute shotgun. That was funny to watch. Just kind of like Ice Helix just kind of turned and shot. And I think that was a beautiful round for the Firebirds.
Oh, yeah.
They played it, I'd say, flawlessly. You know, despite Xerxes getting picked off early on, there was intel gathered. You know, and Xerxes was able to sit on those Maestro cameras without much of an issue. Sit on, you know, all the cameras, navigate, you know, release some sort of intel on any sort of attackers that get in their way. And I think the Firebirds definitely showed they know this. They do know how to play this map, you know, and it's their gunplay that I think is really going to allow them to excel here.
For sure, and it's really good that Firebirds are starting on defense first, just getting that confidence boost of getting that out of the way and then hopefully bringing it over to attack. So hopefully we can see a lot more rounds, at least more than 3 rounds on defense 1 that will put Firebirds at a pretty good advantage and hopefully just take it home.
Yeah. Now, I think it works out perfectly so that now if hypothetically, if the Firebirds won every single
5
round on
seconds to go.
defense, the first 6 rounds they're going to be on defense. If they won all of them, then they just need to win one
Locate a bomb and
attacking round to knock the Cougars out of the playoffs and end their season early. But I don't think
We
we're going to see
haven't
that.
seen that.
I don't think we're ever going to see that. If somehow the Firebirds are able to sweep the Cougars on this map, I don't even know what I would do. I would
get some Raising Cane's catering, bring it here, and at least like $200 worth of that.
Oh my
Plus,
god! I can't believe you guys are making me
plus
do
like
this.
the 6 gallons of lemonade.
I can't believe you guys are making Toner eat Raising Cane's.
Oh,
my
I
gosh.
would absolutely
you poor
hate
thing.
it.
Oh my gosh. That's totally not the only thing you talk about.
I wouldn't even be sarcastic about that. I would love to eat that bunch of Raising Cane's. I
got
can't
very
even make a joke.
Got very worried. That being said, Twan is going to get an early pick on the Iana there. A beautiful pick because Iana has frag grenades. And now they can't use those grenades.
They got 2 more.
They have 2 more, but they can't use Iana's grenades. They do have the Gone 6 on Capitayo. And Flores' drones are going to be very powerful as well. Not easy to hit on the ceiling. You have to probably know a few spots here. The first Lion pulse going out, not marking anybody, I think, but 1 pulse is remaining from that Lion, and that could be the defining factor here. Now, Ice Helix is pulling out that super shorty, which I love on Castle.
Oh, yeah.
And just making sure to have a great time here. And we do see, we can see there's going to be,
wow!
Just walking into Ice Helix's reticle as if, I think that could not have been what's the word?
Executed perfectly.
Executed more perfectly. I think it was almost as if it was staged, just like a walk exactly at this height through this exact position. Ice Helix and Twan, though, immediately getting picked off, so it is definitely a quick turn, like a quick change here. It is now even 3 against 3, but the Firebirds are definitely causing a few issues. I mean, the Lion, here goes the second Lion pulse. Nobody getting marked up. Flores on their remaining 2 drones. And the Firebirds, I think we're going to see. I mean, Xerxes, Quizby, and Teshi just kind of play defensively, play smart, not push in, not, rush ahead. And here goes the second, I believe the last Flores drone, but there goes the Mute Jammer. Wasn't able to do it, but we're going to see maybe. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to take out any of the ADSs. I think it did, but it was very close to not. It was a very, very good distance away. Wafflesbot, though, taking a ton of damage here from Xerxes. Xerxes just going to reload, though, and maybe rotate around. It's getting intense.
There we go.
That being said, Xerxes just on another level there, just making sure to outplay the Lion.
Ooh, this plant might go down.
Plant is going to go off, but okay.
A sliver.
I'm sorry, if
of
Wafflesbot, you could sneeze on Wafflesbot, and Wafflesbot would not have a good time. There you go. I'm gonna say this: if Wafflesbot was able to pull off a strategy that I don't think even the best player in the world would have been able to do, I would have just kind of taken my headset off and walked away, because there's no way. I'm sorry. You could have sneezed on Wafflesbot.
You could throw a stun grenade.
You could have thrown literally anything at thrown with an N.
Is throwed not a word?
Throwed is not a word.
Really?
Just like duck, duck, gray duck, it's not a thing.
It is a thing.
It's not.
It is a real duck.
No.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm not denying it's a real duck, but it's not the game.
It is the game.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I want you to show me.
Duck.
I want you to show me
Gray duck.
records. Show me records of Duck Duck Gray Duck being referred
I will
to
get
and played
everyone
before Duck Duck Goose was played. And also explain to me why you guys are the only state in the United States to play. I know we should be talking about the game, but there's just so much that happens and so much downtime in between these defenses. So like, I want you to show me that in writing.
I will get every single person that was born in Minnesota
No, that's not how it works.
to come to your door and say it is Duck Duck Gray
I will
Duck.
get every single person born in literally any other state. I could have Utah. I know. I don't know what state. Wyoming, I think, has the lowest population in the United States.
No one lives in Wyoming.
No, Rhode Island. I could have everybody
No
in
one lives
Rhode
there
Island.
either.
Everybody in any Wisconsin. Anybody.
Oh, some people live there.
Anyways, back to the game. It is Wyoming. I am getting word. I am smart. SMRT. Cougars are going to be on that attack once again, running an Ash, Fuse, Iana, Lion, and Sledge, whereas the Firebirds are on that first floor running a Valkyrie, Cade, Mute, Maestra, and Castle. I'd worry about the Fuse there. And, I mean, you do have the Sledge who's going to be opening up a lot of the vertical play, and I think we're going to be seeing the Cougars take that second floor rather quickly. That being said, it is Ice Felix on that second floor who's going to definitely cause some issues, I'm sure, for anybody trying to take that second floor. But we will see here. The Fuse, I think, is going to be a big threat to the Firebirds. It's a threat to pretty much anybody. It's going to force you either zoning, meaning you're going to make sure nobody's in that area with that cluster charge, or it's going to, maybe do some damage, probably take out some electricity. But here we go. We're going to see Ice Felix take a little bit of poke damage there in the shoulder. But knowing somebody's there, missing a little bit of the peak. Unfortunately, Ice Helix not able to win the fight, but Teshi was able to get a pick of his own on the Lion. And I think the rest of the Firebirds are going to maybe cause some upsets. There we go, Xerxes taking out Kami Puppy. A beautiful, beautiful
that's a
pick
good
there.
hiding spot.
Definitely. We're going to see Hobo throw the frag grenade, but it's probably going to miss. It's going to do just a tad bit of damage to Xerxes there. The plant was going off by Andy Bink, but we're seeing somebody kind of maybe scare them a little bit. Andy Bink is going to maybe get the plant off. Not quite, but is able to stand up, get a pick. 1v3 all of a sudden, but Teshi could turn the tables. Will Teshi get the play of the game?
Attackers are activating the diffuser.
C4 going out. And there's a double kill. No, I knew it. I saw it. I go, there you go. There's the play of the game. That being said, the diffuser's off, and you have to be taking care of somebody from above. And this is not looking good for Teshi, in all honesty here.
You're gonna have to go up and have to deal with it fast.
And you have to do it near instantly. I mean, this is going to be a very, very big issue here for Teshi, but we can see that
they
dropped off the site, and I think this is going to be it. It takes 6 seconds, and it is going to be unfortunate timing, but a beautiful double kill there. Teshi not able to get the final kill. But the Firebirds are still going to have the lead. It's 2 against 1, and we are having an admin pause here from SIUE. So we are going to take a quick break while they get that settled. It could be a really quick pause. It could be a long pause. So we'll be back. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody, as we hop into this next round. The admin pause was kind of ended abruptly. I think we might see a pause after this round, but I'm told we are playing this. And because Toner is in the bathroom, I'm joined by a special guest host, Deck. How you doing, Deck?
Doing great. And actually,
Toner is here. Okay.
Right.
Well,
Toner
for a guest
right
host
here.
for like 10 seconds, if you want to swap out, then thank you for joining me. Thank you for helping out. I'm not quite sure. I believe there were some technical issues. That was what resulted in the admin pause. But it seems like we are nearing the resume of this matchup. The Firebirds are still leading 2-1 on border. Hopefully that pause did not disrupt them a little bit, but I don't know. I think I couldn't hear what they were talking about because I was in here trying to figure out what was going on, but I'm confident they've really kind of motivated themselves and they're really fired up here.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Firebirds are still on that defense on that second floor site running a Jaeger, Kaid, Solis, Pulse, and Mute, whereas the Cougars are running an Osa, Capitayo, Ace, Lion, and Sledge. They seem to really like the Capitayo, and honestly, I do like it too. I think a very powerful operator
It's
on this
an
map.
underrated operator. It's just amazing. You got smokes, you got fire. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and I'm beginning also to... I see that Hobo is once again running Sledge. I'm very shocked about that. I'm kidding. Hobo's red Sledge every single map. Now, Xerxes getting an early pick on the Capitayo. So despite our hype up, there you go. Now you don't get to witness any sort of...
My heart is broken.
Potential. You're welcome. You can blame Xerxes for that. But as we see the Firebirds really just kind of holding really good angles. Now Teshi is on that Solis roaming a little bit, and I think that is where Solis really excels. Now, unfortunately, a little bit of a firefight there, which is going to force Teshi to kind of reposition, but you might be able to see some really good plays here. Unfortunately, Teshi's taken out by Andy Bink, now evening it out to 4-4. Wafflesbot, though, on that Osa took a ton of damage there against, I can't quite make out, I believe that is going to be Twan there. We will see how that goes. Unfortunately there, Hobo taking Twan out there, reading Twan's movement, which I gotta say, though, you did weaken that Osa quite a bit, so that's going to allow the Firebirds to kind of gain a little bit of momentum. Now, Soy the Bean playing a very interesting line of sight on to point, basically. Andy Bink making sure to run out. There goes the sync, or the second, I believe, Lion Pulse. I didn't count the first, well, it could be just only one there. Another attempt for a Frost Trap. That being said,
that's a lot
Wafflesbot,
of damage.
a lot of damage in the wise words, and Xerxes getting another pick there. Will we see a Xerxes ace? Unlikely, but I would like it.
Likely. Always likely.
Always likely.
Always
It's
likely.
in fact, probable. That being said, Xerxes taking a ton of damage.
Ooh,
but
that's 3.
Pulling out the sidearm
Ow.
because it's faster than reloading. Unfortunately, getting refragged, but you saw 3 kills there from Xerxes. He's done his duty.
20 seconds remain.
20 seconds remain indeed. Soy the Bean and Hobo are the only people remaining for the Cougars, and we are seeing a beautiful lead here for the Firebirds. Will we see any sort of moves here? Ice Helix taken out, but Quizby's going to meet that fate, meet that shot, but we got to see that Soy the Bean is going to be planting, and it's just Quizby left. You got to be watching out for that. Quizby, though, not able to get the pick. Unfortunately, the Cougars were able to very slightly take that win. Quizby, you know, maybe a pixel off of that head could have gotten the win.
That's the name of the game.
Very true. I do see we do have the pause. The pause timer has resumed because there is, for some reason, a limit as how long you can pause the game before it restarts. That's why we had to play that round. But we are going to take another break while we continue with this admin pause. Very interesting night for that. So we'll be back in hopefully just a few minutes. So don't go anywhere.
escape reality. We made for each other. Keep my ears open for nights. They held the same. How can I trust someone who's just wasting my time? Ruin my dream that I try to believe. This keep killing me slowly. You keep killing me slowly. This keep killing me slowly. And I can't breathe. Escape reality. We made for each other. Keep my ears open for nights. They held the same. How can I trust someone who's just wasting?
Welcome back, everybody. After our second admin pause, I don't know the results of any of that, so I'm hoping it's a good thing, and I'm hoping I'm hoping all parties involved are settled. I think the technical difficulties have been, I hope, solved, because I don't know. I don't know what the technical difficulties were, so we're just here on the ride. We know pretty much as much as you do.
We were just too cute on stream.
We were just too cute. That was it. They were like, oh my gosh, your broadcasters, we want them. And our coach was like, no, you are not. It's like the episode of SpongeBob where I think like Plankton tries to buy SpongeBob, and SpongeBob's like, nah, I don't feel like it. This is making sure.
I know that
a
episode.
fry and a fry or something like that. You know that song?
Yeah.
That's
A stove.
That's the same. That is. I am literally SpongeBob right now. Like literally.
Like literally?
Literally. I'm
Who am
SpongeBob.
I?
10 seconds
Patrick
left.
Star.
You're not in this episode.
Oh, I wanna be though.
Anyways, moving on to round number 5. Firebirds have tied. It is tied up 2-2. Firebirds still on that defense, running that Jaeger, Frost, Mute, Legion, and Castle. Whereas the Cougars are running a Blitz, Capitayo, Iana, Lion, and Sledge.
I am really liking that blitz. Like extremely, bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Extremely underrated. And it's just gonna work really well. Hopefully, right here if the Firebirds aren't expecting it.
Sorry, what's happening? I sneezed.
There's a
I sneezed.
blitz.
I had a complete system reset there. Anyways, Blitz is going to be pretty good here, but I think the Firebirds, you have Frost and you have Legion, who are good counters. And there goes the Legion trap. Going to cause some issues for the Blitz. Blitz is going to have to run away and unblitz, basically, and basically retract there. And then Twan's just going to throw another Legion trap out there. And it's a surprise tool that'll help us later. I wish you could destroy that security thing. Scanner. That's the word. Metal detector. That's the word. Metal detector.
I like it. It gives it personality.
It does.
Beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep.
Now, Twan taking a ton of damage from something I think was from below. But we live and we continue. We see Twan is going to be rotating around, a smart rotate. Unfortunately, getting a little bit of a flash there. Xerxes is taken out of the fight, probably due to that due to the blitz. Oh my gosh, it's too late for this. But the Firebirds have pulled a little sneaky one and are like, yeah, you can take second floor. Well, that's not even the point. That's not. You can have it all you want. We're not. We're just going to defend the actual site. And we're going to see them push further onto site, that second floor. Not able to secure point just yet. Soybean taking another Legion trap to the foot. And we're seeing Hobo really open up that ground. But Blitz is completely vulnerable from below. So you can just kind of see a Firebird maybe just aim upwards and say, hey,
Hello.
hello, I'm down here, you're up there. Goodbye. Suddenly blitzes out. Not going to see that quite yet, but, you know, we'll never see this now. Here goes
Oh,
the
that's some
impact
damage.
grenade. Tuan is knowing how to deal with the blitz because he has experienced.
Oh, there we
Sorry.
go.
Tuan is like, Only one person can play blitz in this game, and it's me. Unfortunately, though, the Firebirds did lose Ice Helix in that fight, but Teshi's able to even the odds. Quizby has taken a lot of damage and is down there, and we can see Kami Puppy is going to be planting the diffuser.
And it sticks. There's 45 seconds on the clock.
Very true. Unfortunately, Hobo taking out Tuan there. It is 2 against 3 with the diffuser planted, and I say that it's technically only Teshi at this point. The Firebirds, I don't think this is really going to work out for Teshi here, but we will see. I believe in Teshi. I believe in the magical power of Teshi. However, it's just not in his favor. You know,
I believe.
it happens.
Boom.
He's going to not take anybody out, but it was close. It's, you know, it's a little bit of a revenge there for that double kill he got earlier. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you guys can have this one. We got one earlier. We've gotten 2 at this point. And, you know, only one more round before they start the attack, and I'm hoping that it comes... I'm hoping we see some kind of regain of that momentum from the Firebirds. You know, I'm sure I feel like this admin pause might have been a strategy. It's a tactic. You know, we're going to throw them off their guard. The Firebirds are fired up. We're going to make sure we stop that momentum in a sense.
Oh, yeah.
But Firebirds could just regain that momentum again. So, and also, it's only map 2, so technically the Firebirds... if they lose this map, they're not out for the season. Cougars need this map. So we will see how the Firebirds do on round number 6. Ice Helix taking a little bit of damage there. I'm not quite sure from why. I don't know. Maybe, I think he jumped off the side of him. I think he jumped off of something. So a little bit of damage there, but you know, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need all the health.
We prevail.
We prevail. He's just built different, you know. But we do see the Firebirds on that second floor armory site running a Jaeger, Kaid, Solis, Pulse, and Mute. Whereas the Cougars are running that Nomad, Ash, Iana, Lion, and Sledge. Very similar comp to what we've seen in the past. Firebirds are probably expecting it. You do have the Buck you got to worry about now. We do see them switching. And Buck is probably just going to play from below. But, you know, we might see the Firebirds also do the same thing and take out the Buck again. Because last time the Cougars tried to play that, it just did not work out for them. But we do see the Firebirds playing a decent roam game here. We do see 2 of them are going to be off-site. What do you think about that?
I like it. I think for this map, you really want that because it's not a small map, but it's kind of like a mid-sized map. You're going to want some roamers around just to deal with all the entryways. So I think it works out pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm very curious to see what they have in store for us. You know, I keep saying that, but I don't know. You know, that's part of this. It's just we're experiencing this together. Kami Puppy, though, immediately looking for a frost mat. Probably, you know, one would think
it's instinct. It's R6 instinct. I still do that in other games too.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny because like there were 2 teammates there, and it was like it made me realize I'm like that could be really funny if you do it maliciously. It's like I'm not gonna tell you about this frost mat. I'm
gonna make you figure it out for yourself.
You trusted me? Nah, never mind.
That sounds like so much fun.
It does, yeah.
To troll my friends.
Yeah, just like me. I said it last time. I'll say it again. I have never accidentally team killed you. You know.
On purpose?
Yeah, on purpose, maybe. We will see. Honestly, Tuan and that Pulse is a great choice here. And Ice Helix playing the smart strategy, making sure to get on top of the filing cabinet, or the cabinet, bookshelf technically.
I think
the thingy in the room.
The funny shelf.
The shelf, that's the word. The shelf. Not just any shelf, a bookshelf, maybe.
The shelf.
Yeah, that shelf. Because
which one?
That one, the one in the room, with the thing with Ice Helix on. There goes a Lion Pulse. Doesn't seem like it's going to mark any of the Firebirds. We do see them trying to push in. Quizby not reacting, but we do see Ice Helix getting that refrag really quickly. Andy Bink is going to be planting onto site really quickly here. Ice Helix getting taken out as well. Double kill there for Soy the Bean, but Tuan really reading the situation here with some pulse scanning, seeing the hearts of the players.
Oh!
And Teshi getting a double kill. WafflesBot is able to take Teshi out, but there goes, we're going to see, damage going
that's
out.
some damage.
There goes a down. It's now just WaffleBot, and they're going to be holding a really long,
that is
really long
disgusting.
distance angle. Not able to get any pick, but we're going to see Twan get a probably defuse. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no!
So the situation there is gonna be a bit of revenge from what we saw in Chalet. Remember, where it was like, we saw them kind of just like,
oh no,
the Firebirds just kind of stand there as they were counter defusing. So that's I'd say that's revenge. It's a 1-for-1 there. The Firebirds now once again tying it up 3-3. So going on to round 7.
Was evil.
It was evil, and it was I loved it. What a round. I mean, honestly, I think WafflesBot didn't have much. It was WafflesBot. Didn't have much health, so you could have kind of sneezed. I'm honestly kind of surprised that the C4 didn't do a little bit of damage to him.
Attackers need
Where
to
was the
locate and
C4?
defuse bombs.
Oh yeah. I don't think it reached. Because that's all the way to
It would have been funny if it was like just at that, just enough.
It
of
just
a
blew
distance.
the wind a little bit too much.
It blew the wind in their general direction, and the wind knocked off. Yeah. But round 7, we do see the sides are swapping, and the Firebirds are now on attack against the Cougars, who are on defense. And honestly, this might be the moment that the Cougars kind of slip. They might lose their footing, and the Firebirds might come out with just a beautiful attack round after round. We will see how this goes, though. I am excited to see what the Firebirds have in store for us here.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the most interesting thing is, look, we're bringing a Monty, a Glaz, like the extremely important operators to see. But I am worried, though, the Cougars are bringing a Goyo and a Warden.
Yeah, definitely good counters to what the Firebirds have in store. I mean, you see they have all the smoke grenades. You got to be watching out. I got to say, though, I was about to say, oh my gosh, Hobo's not playing Sledge. They're on defense. I completely forgot they're on defense. Honestly, I love Warden. I've been playing so much Warden recently, so.
One of the best guns in the game, by far.
Definitely.
MPX, amazing.
Yeah. Now, I think if the Firebirds do end up taking out Warden early, it's smooth sailing. In this strategy, it'll be smooth sailing because, I mean, outside of the Goyo, that's really the only counter. Or the C4s. There might be some C4s. It kind of looks like their strategy is expecting this from the Firebirds, which is not what you want. As a Firebird, that's not what you want. They're hard countering your strategy. But we could see, maybe the Firebirds just outplay it. It comes down to just, you can have a composition that directly counters a strategy, but if you can just outplay that strategy, that counter, it works out perfectly.
Counter the counter?
50% of the time, it works every time. But you do see they're very much hard focusing that corner. But we're going to see also... Oh, come on. That would have been beautiful to see. But Quizby using that OSA, I didn't even realize Quizby's on that OSA. Going to be setting up some good defensives. There we go. Quizby going to be playing a little smart there, making sure, hey, I'm going to make sure that I am not going to be flanked, and if I do, I have protection. But here we see the smoke grenades coming out. You got to be watching out for that Warden here. And hopefully the Firebirds kind of know that. Hopefully they know that the Warden's playing. Andy Bink, though, is using... there goes the C4. Wasn't able to take anybody out. Quizby is taken out by Hobo.
That's another C4.
Unfortunately, Twan is down, but the Firebirds have basically taken out 2 of the Cougars. But we're seeing a bunch of the Firebirds fall as we speak, so you got to be watching out for this. Ice Helix is playing a little bit of a distance strategy, but you got to be playing the objective. You can't hold an angle like that the whole time. And we are seeing them rotate around, but right now the game has paused, basically. Just like nobody's moving.
It's in a standstill.
It's a standstill, but a standstill is in favor of the defenders, so you cannot afford that. And when you have 25 seconds on the clock, it's just, you can't do that. Ice Helix taken out. Xerxes taken out. It is now Teshi versus the rest of the Cougars. But we might see a repeat here, and we see the Cougars maybe just kind of push in and try and think they could take Teshi out, and Teshi take a few of them out in the meantime. But the clock is it's probably gonna. There's no way. I'm sorry. There's no way that Teshi's gonna be able to take that. probably
Operators,
using that
you're out
time
of
to
time.
just talk to the team, you know, because there's just there's not much time in between rounds to talk and communicate. So, you know, letting it all, you know, brew basically. But we do see the Firebirds are taking a timeout. So what do you
That's
think?
early. Wow, I like
I know.
that.
What do you think the Firebirds are going to be talking about during this timeout?
Pacing. That was if they did that a lot quicker, I think it would have been a little bit different. They're playing it super tactically, which I like. However, I think with that speed was kind of the name of the game, and also pushing from another angle, because it was kind of just relying on one doorway and one window that was going to be beneficial for them. Gotta get a little bit more spacing inside the building itself, or else it's just not going to work out in your favor.
Yeah, and I think another thing is like the Firebirds should have adapted. You know, I think the 2 Goyo canisters on that doorway might have been an indicator. And I don't know who I don't know if the Firebirds didn't know there was a Warden on the other team. But I just think that, you know, the 2 Warden canisters might be a good indicator that, hey, maybe they're expecting this strategy from us. So
I've been expecting you.
Apparently. Literally, you're going to have Warden just turn around and be like, I've been expecting you. And that's kind of what happened. But I'm hoping the Firebirds kind of switch it up here. Now we do see that the Cougars looks like they're going to be going to that bathroom teller's site, and I'm hoping the Firebirds have some strategies up their sleeves for this site. I know their strategies on defense, but I'm not too familiar with their strategy on the site on the attacking side. So we will see how this
Attackers
goes.
need to locate
But
and defuse
looking at the composition for the Cougars, running a Mute, Castle, Wamai, Goyo, and Frost. What do you think of that?
I like it. Very standard for this site. You're going to have Goyo being the main trap along with a Frost as well. And it's a very dangerous combo, especially if you're trying to get in that window, which no one should ever do, because you can expect to have a few traps right under your feet. But it's also really good with that castle, just barricading the sides. And overall, just a really solid composition.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think the smoke is going to be a very key player here. You know, I think mixing that with the Goyo, you're going to have a lot of area denial.
Attackers are moving out to
I got to
locate
say,
a
though,
bomb
I mean,
in
it's very clear. Andy, Bink, and Hobo, definitely the top fraggers. You got to be watching out for them as well. It's clear at this point, as map 2 ends, you got to be watching out for those people who are getting all the kills. You know, you're seeing the rest of the players kind of just support them, and you got to be watching out for that. But looking at the Firebirds, I mean, it's kind of similar, but not quite. I mean, last map we saw like a nearly even kill spread outside of Xerxes, because Xerxes on another level. But you got to be watching out for that stuff. You know, that's a whole nother level of play that you kind of have to understand is, oh, hey, this person might be playing more attack. Now, Xerxes was in a weird little position there, not able to get out underneath the chair. Now, did see one of the Cougars who are out on that second floor, and Tuan, who's going to be playing Blitz, is just going to expect that and is going to...
Oh, he's going to pay a little visit.
Oh, we can see.
Run.
We can see the Wamai is running.
Run.
Run, Wamai. Run, Wamai. Because Tuan, swapping to the sidearm, is faster than reloading.
He doesn't have a primary.
I know. But it's just fun to say. And they gained that armory site like really fast, and I love it. Now Ice Helix also playing that sledge. The Firebirds we're planning that. They're all destruction and Blitz. Which Blitz is destructive in the moral aspect, you know?
In the mental.
In the mental and the morals.
And the eyes, too.
when you kind of lose against a Blitz, it's kind of like, oh, that's unfortunate. Kind of sad now. There's nothing I can do. But Tuan's just going to let the rest of his team kind of really come in and do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, Quizzy
there we
out.
go.
But Tuan is going to run in, get another sidearm kill, and his flash is ready. Now, we do see a lot of the Cougars really trying to rotate around, but the Firebirds hoping to get a little bit of an edge here with 55 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, hopefully they can bring it through. Xerxes still up in that second floor, just looking for some vertical play, vertical aspects, and Tuan is slowly being sneaky getting into sight.
Oh, we do hear the Frost Mac coming out. Oh, no. That is going to be very bad for the Firebirds. Xerxes is going to need to defend Tuan because you need all those players in the field. With 30 seconds left, you need that advantage, and it is very much of a concern here. Ice Helix needs to be doing something. They need to be taking something here. Ice Helix was up. He was brought up. He was revived. And Twan is really trying to look for some of these players. But when your back is turned to that rotator, you got to be careful. We do see shots going out. They know, but the Goyo Trap's gonna... It's a surprise tool that has helped us in the future. And we're seeing Ice Helix take out Waffle's bot, and it almost looks like the Cougars are scrambling here. I don't think the Goyo Trap really they were expecting that. Ice Helix really trying to watch some of these flanks, maybe watching that hatch, or he's watching that head from server room.
No.
But Ice Helix missing the shot. It is now 2v2. And, oh my gosh, this is falling apart, but Twan's got a triple kill. It is a 1v1, and I don't know if Kami Puppy has any explosives. It is not looking good for Kami Puppy here. You gotta be watching out for those frost mats, though. You can't walk underneath. And honestly, we can't see. Oh my gosh, but the timing. This is gonna be down to the wire.
Come on.
This is it. I think it's too slow. Bam. The
There we go.
Firebirds taking that round. What a beautiful play. I'm curious, and I want to ask Twan after this match, was that, like, were you like, I'm just going to stall him, or were you trying to get the 1v1? What do you think of that situation? What would you do?
Stall, because really, if they try going for the diffuser, Twan's just going to go,
Yeah.
nope, and then run on over and just shield bash him, you know?
Yeah.
And if you try doing that 1v1 fight, you're going up against a shield, and there's not a lot you can do against it. When you're crouched as Blitz, there's a little bit on top of your head, basically 2 pixels that you can hit, or their arm. It's extremely difficult. When they're standing up, it's their legs and a very small portion of their arm. It's not fun to face a Blitz, ever. But they did get the kill in the end, but the main objective was just to play that time.
It was very, very close, but I think Twan played it well.
Yeah,
I think that
most
was
definitely.
That was as well as you probably could have to be, you know, the safest. You know, you could try and force that 1v1, but that's high risk, high reward there. But if you stall, you have a lower risk of failure in that sense. Might be a little bit more challenging, but I mean, your Blitz, you can kind of back up without taking much damage. Now, looking at round number 9, Firebirds are still on that attack, but we're seeing the Cougars defend that first floor again, the same exact site. And we see a Tachanka.
Without the LMG.
Without the LMG, which is, I think, the first time in history that's ever been done.
It is a smart play, because if you think of it in the way that Goyo's canisters were not working for their favor. So now these Shumiha charges, which are fire grenades, that you can place them personally instead of having to shoot it, or the enemies shooting the Goyo canister for you.
But why don't you bring the LMG?
Because it's a very slow weapon, and I just think that I keep on forgetting. It's one of my favorite weapons of all time. The other choice, also used by Capcan. It's way more accurate, and it's a little bit quicker. So I think personally, that is a smart choice for what they're trying to do.
Now we see the Firebirds are going to be once again pushing that second floor. Teshi's going to be watching for any sort of people to flank around, try and rotate around from into that office area. But Twan's just going to be outpacing him and is going to be clearing these rooms faster than you can imagine. Pinging around, we can see there's a lot of communication being done from the Firebirds. A lot of just kind of strategy adjusting. Hey, they reinforced this. Let's open this up. Oh, hey, they added this. We need to do that. And I don't know. I mean, we have Ice Helix and, unfortunately, Quizby and Xerxes taken out of the fight right away, losing that Buck and Ace, 2 unfortunate people to be losing in this fight. But Teshi, Twan, and Ice Helix might be able to compensate. You do have to play the time, though, especially with those Shumiha charges. They can stall for a lot of time. What is it, 6 seconds?
I think it's 8.
8 seconds
8
times
seconds.
13. That is, you can buy a lot of time with that. A lot of area denial.
It is a little bit smaller of an area than Goyo is, but it's still, it does make an impact.
Now, we also noticed that the Firebirds have lost possession of the diffuser because Quizby was the holder and was down in that server room. And the Tachanka is going to be causing issues for Twan as well on that blitz. Teshi, though, still holding that back angle, maybe anticipating somebody to roam. I would suggest. I mean, we have the sight. We have the power of spectator vision. They are unleashing everything onto Twan, and it wasn't until after the fact, after they used like everything, that they were able to get the pick on Twan. But they've wasted a lot of time. Unfortunately, the Firebirds need that time, and it is not looking good. And the Cougars going flawless. Firebirds got flawless first, though, so I would say I am biased because if you read the tarp behind me. And my hoodie and Toner's hoodie.
I like my hoodie.
A little bit biased here. I will. It's a Firebird stream, so I don't.
I like my hoodie.
In case any of this indication, we might. Also the banner. The banner on the. All of that.
Where?
On the. The screen, the overlay. Just a little bit biased.
Oh,
it's
there it
almost
is.
like we are a Firebird stream. If I was not wearing this hoodie, it's a different discussion. But when I wear the Firebirds logo, I'm cheering for the team that's also wearing that logo.
That's a good little rant you got there.
Yeah. But we will see as we hop into round number 10, the Cougars, for the first time this map,
Thunderbird.
I think, leading by 1. But they have a lot of, there's still a lot of suits to be played. So we will see how this goes. Now, Cougars on that second floor armory and office running a smoke, Thunderbird, Bandit, Tachanka, and Warden. Pretty interesting comp. I'm curious. I'm interested. They do have the Warden, but I don't know. You got to be watching out. I think Warden, we've always talked about Warden is very niche. And now that Ying is out of the picture,
5 seconds left.
not as effective as you might think.
I think expecting that they were going to try and
Objective is to
do
locate a bomb and defuse it.
Glass again.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's mainly the trying to counter that. Trying to look through the smokes if there's going to be that same Monty push, but it doesn't seem that's going to be the case anymore. Instead, opting out for a blitz.
Yeah. Now, you do see the Firebirds running a different comp than what we saw last time they were on this site, so they're definitely spicing up that strategy. And I would have been a little bit angry if they didn't, because I think that strategy, it only works once. And even then, it's like, you got to be careful. And, I don't know. I like the strategy the Firebirds playing. They have more room to grow. It's not relying on a Monty or relying on one person, And that's why any sort of time there's like a Monty strategy, I always say, be careful. Don't rely on a single operator to be alive for a strategy to work. Because it's always risky, because then the other team is just going to be focusing on the Monty. It's very simple. They're relying on the Monty, so I want the Monty to not be there. But we will see. Now the Lion Pulse going out from the Firebirds, not marking anybody to our knowledge, but definitely slowing down maybe some movement from roamers or anybody, really, kind of scaring them a bit. Every time there's a Lion Pulse going out, you kind of see everybody just stop in fear. Okay, I don't want to move a muscle because then they'll know where I am, and maybe they'll be able to shoot me through a wall. Quizme, though, is going to be opening up that side wall on the east balcony, from the east balcony, able to kind of peer into maybe a little bit of a line of sight. Unfortunately, misplacing one of those charges, not able to get the whole thing, but they'll be able to crouch through. As Twan demonstrates.
I was a little bit scared about
Twan
that.
demonstrates. I was scared too. I was like, oh, is this going to be like a pixel off?
The shield just bumps the top.
Now, Flora, we see Teshi is using Flora's drone after Flora's drone. Twan is still taking a ton of damage to some of these, Shumehas from the Tachankas. You got to be watching out for those. You cannot afford to kind of burn up. But, the Firebirds, they have to be pushing a little bit faster too. They don't have all the time in the world, and you just, you can't afford to waste any of this time. You got 30 seconds. Teshi,
there we go.
Taking out the Bandit. Andy Bink from the Cougars. The Cougars seem to be, a little bit more Shumehas going out. They might be a little bit scared of a push here from the Firebirds.
There's only one more left, however.
Yeah. There's only one more left, and we're going to see the Firebirds kind of pushing.
There
Xerxes
we
swooping
go.
in, taking one of the players out. Shocked that there weren't any other Cougars kind of watching from the other angle. Teshi, though, kind of expecting that and watching for it, doing a little bit of damage to the Thunderbird. Missing a few shots, but they're going to maybe walk in. Wafflespot rushing in, getting taken out. Quizme's finally planting.
Wow.
The Firebirds saw the they see the Cougars raise a flawless round, and they say, hey, what if we did that again? So now we're at 2 against 1 in the flawless round count, which is, I'm not expecting it to change.
We forgot to do our bingo card this season.
We will have the bingo cards on the finals if we make it to finals.
I would
Let's do
love
that.
the bingo
We'll
card.
do that. We'll do that for the bingo. I mean, that's a best of 5, so we could be there for a long time. So
Well, hopefully
you
we
know.
see some aces. I don't think we have we
We have-
seen an ace.
I think we've only seen one ace. No, actually, I don't think we've seen an ace.
I don't
here.
think we've seen
From
an
the
ace this season.
Firebirds, I don't think we've seen an ace. I think the other teams we've seen a few players from the other teams get an ace here or there, but that's it.
Defenders protect
Because I
your
remember
bombs.
last year there was a couple, but
See, I gotta say though, like, there's no shame in not getting an ace. It means, hey, your entire team is
no,
getting
but
kills.
it fills out the bingo card, and
It
that's
fills out the-
that's
well,
what's important.
Just don't have that on your bingo card.
And you know what the best aces are?
Spades.
No, 1v5s.
Oh, 1v5s, yeah.
The
The
1v5
thing that
ace
happens once
clutch.
in a blue moon that I don't think we're ever
I
gonna see. At
I
this high
got
level
one
play.
once on Fortress.
I don't believe you.
You
but-
were there.
Videos or it didn't happen. Pics or it didn't happen.
I think I do have the video of that.
Okay,
Because
good.
you were there.
I
remember
probably
you
was
were
there,
there.
but I don't pay attention to what you do.
were there.
I'm sorry.
5
I'll be
seconds left
blunt.
before
I
insertion.
don't watch
You were
your
so happy.
game. I was happy, probably.
Attackers are moving
But I'm
out to
also
locate
just
a
not
bomb and
surprised.
defuse
But
it.
I'm not believing it until I see it again. Do it again. If you can't replicate it, I don't believe you.
Okay. All right, we're
Uh,
playing our 6 after this.
It's gonna be late, I bet, after this. But
Nah.
we do going into round number 11. Cougars are still holding strong, but it is neck and neck. 5 to 5, 5v5, all the 5s. A lot of numbers here. But we can see, I mean, we're seeing the Cougars on their defense running that smoke, echo, bandit, Tachanka, and Warren. They are
Uh-oh.
really holding strong to
The
that.
ring's coming back.
The ring is back. I'm beginning to think it's a glitch that we got, because I think I've gotten this glitch every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's only for spectators.
I've also gotten the replay camera too.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think it kind of runs on the same thing. You know?
Yeah.
Because the replay looks just like the same as spectator mode.
Yeah. We'll see.
Interesting
Though. We'll see. It's interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. Now, here we go. The first lion pulse coming out there, not marking anybody to our knowledge, but definitely causing concern, giving them a little bit of a scare, spooky, scary lion pulse, sending shivers down your spine. Tuan, though, really making sure to utilize this drone to recon some of these areas you want to push in. And along with the Iana drone, a lot of explosions going on here. Firebirds slowly gaining back ground, though. A lot of stuff happening here. You know,
kinda spooky.
I say a lot of stuff happens, and then nothing happens. And then it's just silent. Because both teams just move slowly and surely. Now, decent amount of time left, but the Firebirds just really struggling to gain some
bomb
sort
has
of,
been located.
maybe, line of sight on a point. Kind of need that. You got to worry about that. We do see the C4
Boom.
coming out. Not able to take anybody out. Not taking any of the Firebirds. If anything, alerting the... Oh, wow. That is an interesting
Yeah.
Echo drone placement, but that's not going
Ooh.
to stop them. Xerxes able to take out Andy Bink. 50 seconds left on the clock. You got to be watching out. Those Shumehas are going to cause some issues for the Firebirds. Now, there is a line of sight opened up for Xerxes to kind of watch that window. I'm hoping now the Firebirds really regaining this line of sight. I think it's good. They're going to be really making sure to push a lot of time and a lot of area in a very quick succession here, waiting for them to really draw out. That's the word. Players now. Quizby's going to be planting and Teshi's going to be blocking. I don't think the Cougars know that they're going to be planting. Now there is somebody from below.
Yeah, there we
but
go.
the Firebirds are able to get the diffuser off, and they have such beautiful positioning here for that.
Ooh, but look at that flanker coming around.
There is a flanker, but I did see the Firebirds kind of place down some claymores, maybe protecting them just a bit. Xerxes taking a lot of damage here, but it is 5 of the Firebirds in fight, taking out one of the players. Now Quizby taking a lot of smoke damage, but Xerxes and Isilix taking out players as well. It is now 5v2, and the Firebirds continue to hold strong. The smoke grenade is not doing them any real favors outside of clearing it off. Xerxes with a triple kill,
and a
Teshi another
back-to-back.
two flawless rounds in a row. If you were the Cougars, I would be kind of, I'd be scared.
However, this
That
is
was a
the
beautiful-
toughest round to win. Match point. It's
This
a lot
is
of
it.
pressure for
If
both
this is
teams,
it.
but especially on the one that actually has match point.
If the Cougars lose this round, they are out for the season. But if the Firebirds lose it, they go into go into overtime. if you were the Cougars, what would be going through your mind right now?
I would say right now, what are our strengths? What are our weaknesses right now? Do a little SWOT analysis, like in business right now.
Oh my gosh!
Because honestly, I think that's the
Attackers need to
best thing
locate
you
and
can
defuse
do
bomb.
right now is that what is working, what is not working. And right now, time is on their side for the most part. Is that they're really, really, really good at slowing down the Firebirds. So I think just being able to do that again.
You know, I gotta say though, I do find it funny. The Firebirds have struggled. We've said it, all the time in the past weeks. They've been that is something they've failed at time and time again. They're just slow on some of these attacks. And it's very clear that's what the Cougars are doing. They're like, I can't guarantee I'll stop you. But I'm gonna make sure you're not able to push in right away. But I gotta say, despite that, the Firebirds are really keeping a good pace. They are playing
5 seconds to go.
some of the best matches I've seen out of them all season.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it makes sense. This is the quarterfinals, so it's every strategy in the book down for the count and ready for that reveal. But you cannot rely on anything too much. You have to be careful. Now the Firebirds, very interesting strategy here that could be concerning. They're running on that attack. Lion, Thermite, Flores, Monty, and Iana looking at the Edwardsville Cougars. They have the Smoke, Echo, Bandit, Tachanka, and Warden. You got to be watching out for that Smoke, that Echo, and that Tachanka Shimei has as Monty.
Oh, most
You have
definitely.
3 of the 5 people who are going to cause you issues.
However, you do have a big team to help you out as well.
You have all the destruction, making sure to definitely support you there. But you got to be watching out. You do have the Flores drones, which because there's no mute, you're going to be able to kind of utilize. I would also, I hope the Firebirds know there's an Echo, so you got to be watching out for that Echo drone. There you go. They see the Echo drone is there. And they're going to be really watching out for that because those Echo drones can stop you from planting, and I think
And
they'll
they're just
definitely be
annoying,
able
too.
to. I think they'll be able to. I'm pretty sure they'll stagger Monty as well. But here we go, Teshi using that Flores drone mixed with Quizby's Thermite Cam, body blocking. I believe that was Ice Field. That was Teshi there on the Flores drone. Great teamwork there, protecting Teshi. But this is it. I mean,
bunch of
this
Shumihas.
is the most important. Oh, Andy Bink though trying to flank around, but only taking Teshi out,
Oh,
and the frag grenade going out, and is able to take Andy. I think Andy Bink would have died from that fall as well, but try their best to survive. Unfortunately, they were able to take out Teshi, but the fire. It's a 1-for-1 in that battle, I think. And I think, honestly, I think Flores was able to get off as many drones as possible, opening up some successful areas for their push. But Quizby is on that, has the diffuser here. Curious to see. They got to be watching out for that Echo drone, and that is exactly what's going to be happening here. Here goes the Echo drone, but it's blocked by the pillar. Oh my God. The beam doing exactly what you don't want to happen. Now, Soy the Bean is going to be in that armory lockers behind that little bit of a half wall, but I'm hoping the Firebirds know that. They do see the Echo drone, but here we're going to see a lot of stuff happening here. The fire grenades, more grenades. They're playing from below, and that is unfortunate there. The Firebirds relied too heavily on that strategy, and they had someone flank around from below. Xerxes taken out here 2 against 4. It is not looking good for the Firebirds. 10 seconds left, and I'll call it here. They relied way too heavily on the strategy that has way too many easy counters. You have this team who's going to be playing. They've played all the counters to your strategy, and you're going to still play that strategy. That was I wouldn't say it's a stupid situation, but like. That's just a case of the Firebirds. They should have won that. That was just bad.
The Firebirds should have rotated off that. Going into CCTV could have taken that hallway and all that because you had to deal with Tachanka the entire time. Once you blew open the wall, you had to deal with him and all the fire that he brought, and you just don't want that.
Yeah. Now we do see the Firebirds. It is overtime, and oh, that's interesting to see. It looks like there is a little bit of a rehost. A little bit of issues here. It looks like because they're in overtime, the Cougars should be attacking, or should be defending here, but that is I don't know what's happening here. There looks like they're going to be doing a rehost. So we're going to just take a quick 5-ish minute break while we get that rehost situated. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're still on map 2. It's been, what, about 3 hours now? We're still on map 2. And we are heading into round 13 overtime. Oh, boy. I'm starting to get tired now. I woke up this morning at 6 o'clock, so I've had a long day.
I only had one thing to eat today.
That's not okay, and we're gonna.
I forgot.
We're gonna talk about that after stream.
I forgot.
Is this your protest to me calling it, and everybody else in the sane world calling it Duck Duck Goose?
Yes.
Okay, it's a.
It is Duck Duck Gray Duck.
It's okay. I'm just gonna.
I'm going on
hunger
strike.
on a hunger strike. Okay. No, don't do that for stupid things like that. It's Duck Duck Goose. And that's fine.
It is not a stupid thing.
Now, okay. We head back into this overtime, and the Cougars are running they're on the second floor site, and, okay, I'm going to rant here in a bit. But second floor site, and it looks like the Cougars are running a Smoke Tachanka Bandit Echo Warden. And the Firebirds, for a moment there, looked like they were running the same strategy that has never worked for them. And I was going to rant, but they switched it up slightly. Just kidding. No, they didn't swat. I don't know. I don't know at this point. I don't know.
We shall see.
We shall see.
We
They're
shall
running
see.
A Thatcher, Iana, Ace, Monty, and IQ. You know, you got to be watching out for those long distance angles. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it's very much broken, don't do it. And here we go. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it works for the Firebirds. You know. I think the Cougars might not be expecting it. not expecting a team to be playing the strategy over and over again. But, you know, it's becoming an endurance match at this point. In all honesty, we are seeing it really come down to endurance. We're seeing heading into, you know, this late night. These teams have been playing with very little breaks for, 3 hours now. And it's intense. It is exhausting.
It's fun.
Really drains you. I don't think it's fun playing this long.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I've done it before. Don't want to do it again.
I love it.
That being said, we do see the
Oh,
IQ
there's a
coming out.
phone.
A surprise tool. And here goes the ace charges coming out. And it looks like Teshi placing that breaching charge. Going to be rotating around. Pretty interesting here. A good strategy to kind of focus on those people below. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to see the Cougars kind of just dedicate their defenses towards that site where Twan is. And then they're going to maybe just kind of disrupt
There we go.
Twan was able to take out that Echo drone, which is great.
Ooh!
ICLX, the early pick on the Echo. That's a phenomenal pick there. Because now they don't have to worry about those drones, those pesky drones. I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids and your dumb drones too. What an interesting game. Now here goes the smoke grenades, which is the best counter to a Monty. And I know Twan is a phenomenal player, but smoke grenades, you can't exactly outplay them outside of just walk out of them.
You know, there should be an operator where it just gives you gas masks.
Now, but here's the thing too.
On attack.
I'm sorry. 55 seconds left on the clock, and the Firebirds still trying to push through that doorway. Teshi holding that staircase, but when you're on defense, you're the ones to win. Like, the attackers have to push towards you. And when you're
35 seconds to do so.
Exactly. When you're standing still, you have Shumehas and the smoke grenades. You have to make something. 30 seconds left on the clock, and it's not looking good for any of the Firebirds at this point, but you do have the people who are trying to flank around, get some maybe early picks, but it's just not working out. 20 seconds on the clock, and the Firebirds have not entered point, basically. And
all right, there we go.
Getting a good pick, and unfortunately, two of the Firebirds falling there. Twan is front and center with the shield, missing a few of the shots, but maybe able to kind of swinging around, trying to bait out that bandit, knocking the bandit down, but the overtime clock is there. Ice Helix cannot afford to stop planting.
Operators, you have run out of time.
Unfortunate.
What happened? Why? I'm sorry. I'll say that. Why? I don't know what strategy that was and why the Firebirds... I don't even know how to put it into words at this point. I'm out of words for today. In
I-
all honesty.
I'll take over for that. Yeah,
Oh my God.
it's just a bummer because the Firebirds are trying to force that same thing. It was great having some Firebirds on first floor trying to clear it out. Got some really amazing picks and tried to put it around. But it just was not enough. Try and take CCTV or try going on to the other site because so much resources were being used by the defenders on that site that it just makes it's just like, why not just try and go to the other one? Is that then there's not going to be any smokes, there's not going to be any Shumihas there. They have to rotate around. It gives you the advantage. But Firebirds wanted to play it through, stick it out. I know they had a reason for it, trying to move up, but the Firebirds that were flanking around did die. So it's just a bummer situation. Now Firebirds on the deficit. It is overtime match point so far for the Cougars. So Firebirds need to have a great defense here. Hopefully we'll bring it back into double overtime.
If the Firebirds lose right now, we're heading into a map 3. But if the Firebirds win, we go into double overtime. Sudden death, basically. Winner takes all. And I got to be honest, I'm expecting if we go into map 3, it's going to be another round 15. In all honesty, it's going to be another 2.5 hours, I bet. 2 hours. 2 hours being generous, I bet.
We should get some food.
Oh, I need about, a lot of energy at this point.
Let's get a pizza.
No, I'm not hungry. I just need... I don't know. It's getting late. I've been up, like I said, till 6 o'clock. So I'm running at that low energy at this point, and I'm hoping the Firebirds can kind of feel that and get that vibe and understand win this one. But here's the funny thing: is we're seeing
dear.
It looks like we're gonna see the Cougars run basically the same strategy that the Firebirds ran, outside of maybe a little bit better. I mean, they have an Osa here, which is likely the better move, but Tuan is on that pulse, and Teshi with that Malusi trap. Maybe we're going to see some smart plays here from the Firebirds getting an early pick, but I'm hoping that's what we see.
Oh, Tuan says hello.
Tuan saying a little bit of hello, a little bit of a bait there, charging that C4, getting ready to launch it. But unfortunately, Tuan getting picked off early is not going to be good for the Firebirds there.
Uh-oh.
A little bit of a frag grenade, not able to get any sort of damage or picks, maybe just scaring some people around. Maybe tactically placed, I'm not quite sure. Hard to say, We've seen a mixture of, missed throws and well-placed, thrown throws, so we'll see.
And there's that CCTV hold that we were looking for.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what the rest of the Firebirds have up their sleeve, but here we go. Osa's going to be running in, planting. Lion Pulse going out, marking one of the Firebirds. Osa's going to be planting all the shields basically within their arsenal. Both shields there, but the C4 going out, doing a ton of damage. Unfortunately, Xerxes taken out by Hobo, and Osa's able to plant that second shield. Andy Bink is going to be planting behind it. Ice Helix mistiming that grenade, but there goes the C4 taking out Waffles.
That helps.
Andy Bink, though, was able to get the plant off. Triple kill from Hobo. Quizby is needing to get this pick on the A's. Unfortunately not. It is Ice Helix 1v3, and it is not looking good for the Firebirds here. And the Cougars take round 14. We're heading into a map 3, and I am needing medical attention, basically. Not really, but I'm feeling. I've been talking for the past, 2.5 hours, barely stopping, so here we are.
I will say, though, the next map, one of my favorites, Cafe Dostoyevsky. It's going to be a wonderful map 3. I don't think that it could have been any better for tonight. I think going into a map 3 is what a quarterfinal deserves, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait for it.
I cannot wait either. So we'll be back in it looks like we're going to be back at about 9:49. Not quite sure what time it is now.
Enough time to get some food.
So about a 7-minute break-ish, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a bit. Welcome back, everybody, to what seems to be the longest game ever. Never ending, and it's only the quarterfinals. It only probably will get longer from here. As we head into map number 3, we saw round 15 and 15 again, or round 14, I think, in both maps 1 and 2, mixed in with some long technical pauses and admin pauses, and it's been a night, to say the least. Now it is your Carthage Firebirds versus the Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville Cougars, and maps 1 and 2, it is back and forth from both of these teams. Number 2 seed against the number 7 seed. I am excited to see this next map. Now, we are heading into Cafe Dostoyevsky, which is a map the Firebirds have strategies on. I know they have strategies on it, but we have not seen it at all this season so far. I know they've seen it in practice and is a very popular pro map, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm expecting to see a lot of amazing strategies on this map. As we head into the pick bans, we see the Firebirds banning a Jackal and Amira, and the Cougars once again hardcore target banning Tuan. It is very clear that they are scared of Tuan, and I love it. I love to see it.
I will say Clash, there's not too many good uses for Clash on this map compared to other maps. So, you know, a little bit more towards the favor of the Firebirds on that one. But yeah, Ying is extremely important on this map. However, both teams can't use Ying, so that's always the thing. While it is a target ban, both teams
Defenders,
will not be
protect your
able to
bombs
use
from
that
being used by
amazing
attackers.
operator.
Yeah. I gotta say, though, I mean, we do see a substitution for the Firebirds. We're subbing in Wialku for Quizby, which we've seen some amazing performances from Wialku in the past, so I'm excited to see what he has in store. And to the viewers at home, again, I'm expecting this map to go all the way into around 14. Again, it is going to probably be another hour and a half, maybe closer to 2 hours. To describe how I feel, I think very similar to a weatherman or a meteorologist during a very, very bad, like, tornado storm, whatever. You know, if I had a tie would be like gone, jacket would be off. You know, that's how I always like to gauge on how bad a storm is. It depends on how much the meteorologist is wearing. You know, if the tie is off, then it is bad. It is very bad. But as we head into round number 1, the Carthage is going to be attacking. We do see Xerxes, Ice Helix, Tuan, Teshi, and Wialku running an Ace, Sledge, Blitz, Dokkaebi, and Ash against the Cougars running that second floor site, running a Solis, Capkin, Alibi, Oryx, and Warden. Now, a very interesting strategy here, but the Firebirds, I don't know, you gotta be watching out for those Capkin traps, and that is something I think the Firebirds have kind of, all teams have kind of had issues with always, you know. It's always a bad thing. You always least expect a Capkin trap where there probably are.
Well, it's great on this map because this map is set in Russia, and you gotta bring a Russian with you.
Your Russian lore in this game.
It's all lore. I love lore in this game.
Ugh.
Lore is awesome.
You know what I love? I love water. Water is great.
Water?
Good old dihydrogen monoxide.
H2O2?
No. Anyways, honestly, I mean, I'm expecting some really good strategies here, but I'm hoping we don't go to around 14. In all honesty, I think we are seeing both teams just very much exhausted, very much endurance game. You know, the energy was there in the beginning, but now it's just kind of everybody's tired.
Yeah, hopefully that we can get this energy up.
Oh! A beautiful strategy there from Teshi and Wialku. Unfortunately, Wialku taken out, but Teshi was able to take out Hobo. Now, a Warden being out of the picture is very, very good for Tuan, as Tuan is on Blitz. And Warden is basically immune to those flashes. But I'm very confident to see some great things here.
Here's someone.
Now, we do see the Solis here being blinded by the Blitz.
Oh, wow.
Tuan not letting the bullets stop him, and Ice Helix playing the strategy. I'm not surprised. I'm telling you, the Firebirds having these strategies, making sure to give the Cougars a run for their money. And here we go. We saw Teshi hacking those cameras. That being said, seeing the Oryx but surviving, I am honestly shocked that Teshi survived.
Yeah,
shocked
that-
that Kami Puppy was not able to get enough of a fatal damage there. There goes a Capcan Trap taking Twan out. Not surprised. We always see those Capcan Traps being a threat to a blitz. But here we go. Ice Helix is near sight, throwing a frag grenade, maybe doing something here. Not able to take anybody out, but taking out that shield. Gonna have to plant, but there goes a Capcan Trap, and is gonna be planting. Teshi needs to come in and support him. Unfortunately, gonna get taken out, but Ice Helix is able to get the plant off. I don't think they know where it is. I don't think they know where it is. They're looking for Ice Helix. They don't know where the plant is. Ice Helix gotta be watching out for them. He sees the pixel. He knows they're there. There goes a Capcan Trap. Oh, he is not healthy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Taken out, and they're going to be able to counter defuse it. The Firebirds not able to take round 1. It's those Capcan Traps. And I
know.
would not be surprised if the Firebirds played IQ or some counter. Or Brava would be a phenomenal operator here. But you never know. What do you think the Firebirds should run next map or next round?
Oh, definitely Brava. I mean, it's just scary to see. Think about it from the attacker's perspective. You cannot see those Capcan Traps ever. It's the same for defenders. You barely even know that it's there. You hack it, there is going to be a little bit of a... it's just a little dot that starts glitching out on it, right? If you do hack it, you're not going to see that. There's so many more important things to be paying attention. I think Brava is going to be an amazing counter to Capcan,
Definitely.
so hopefully we see it.
Definitely. Now looking at round number 2, the Cougars on that defense still running that Castle, Capcan, Wamai, Mozzie, and Warden in kitchen. Against the attackers, what do you think some essential attackers are here?
Oh, you really got to play vertical for this. You got to try and flush them out as much as you can from kitchen and ensure that second and first floor is controlled by you, because there's so many ways inside from upstairs and all that, just from the viewpoint and all that. There's a hatch as well, but it's just really important that you take control of those two.
Definitely. I'm very excited to see what the Firebirds have in store here as we see them running an Ace, Sledge, Montaigne, Ash, and Dokkaebi. Looking at the Cougars, that composition, I think Firebirds might be able to get the upper hand on if they play it well. And that is all depending on positioning and just maybe timing. There's a little spice of luck there.
A little bit of spice.
A little spice there. I gotta say though, that esports skin that Wialku has on his gun is really cool.
Oh yeah,
really cool skin. A little bit of a gunfire exchange there in that bakery area, but you know, Firebirds still holding strong, still making sure to push in slow and steady. Wialku is going to be gaining that intel in other areas, making sure to watch for flankers. Dokkaebi going to be making a call here. Who's going to be at the other end?
I like that. Yeah, it looks like they're going to do a full top-down push. Ice Helix will be joining Teshi on the top floor and making their way down. Minute 40 remain.
It is a great thing to kind of push in and gain those other areas, those other levels, but you have to also make it quick. You can't afford to be on the other side of the map with, you know, a minute left. And we're nearing that. We're at a minute 30 here. And, I mean, using our spectator vision, we can see that there really aren't any roamers outside of the first floor for the Cougars, but we will see. Those Capcan Traps you got to be watching out for as well. But there goes one of the Capcan Traps for Antoine. I mean, it is coming down to the wire here.
Yeah, it is not doing any good, those Capcan Traps.
Definitely. Hobo is making sure to play it smart, play it slow, play it steady. But
I thought I heard a frost mat, but
I thought so too, but Twan is making sure just to block. Yeah, here goes the frag grenade. Going to be a little bit unfortunate for Twan, I think. But was able to walk out of there and survive. Wialku getting a long distance pick on Andy Bink, but Hobo getting that refrag. Xerxes taken out by Waffles Bot here. The Firebirds were able to get the plant off, and you do see
that's a good position.
Holding that vertical play, which is going to really cause some issues for the Cougars. But you got to be watching out for maybe somebody to watch out. Now, Waffle Spot is going to be diffusing, but Ice Helix is taking it out. It's a double kill for Hobo, and unfortunately,
Oh, no.
Firebirds were caught off guard and taken out.
Defenders have disabled the bomb.
Unfortunate to see, unfortunate indeed, but you never know. You know,
Yeah.
I think the Firebirds getting it planted is an achievement in itself. It's, again, some of these small mistakes, you know, maybe Ice Helix just kind of watching the back, you know, maybe planting a Claymore, making sure to watch for those flankers is essential at this point. But going into this next round, looks like the Cougars are going to be defending that second place, Reading Room and Fireplace. What strategy do you think they're going to run here?
They're going to keep it nice and open. Is that you want to play all floors when you're on second floor. It's just really important to do. So you're in the... Because second floor, basically, the entire floor is the site. So you really want to expand your resources outward and all that, because really, you got to take control of stairwells, because there's pretty much no other way in besides the balcony and one window. On the I can't remember which side that is. One window there and one window by trains. So really, you gotta spread your resources out for this. So keeping it nice and open, having a bunch of roamers, and having at least 2 nearby the site, I think that's the best way to play. I could be wrong, but that's what I say.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see. I like this map. You know, I think this map has a lot of variety and strategies. You know, it's not like the same strategy over and over again. It all depends on just how you feel, you know, how your team works, what you like. Now, we do see they're running out. We do see the Cougars are doing a little bit of a very interesting strategy here, just kind of running out.
Just wanted to say hello.
Trying to get an early kill on the Firebirds, an easy kill in a sense, because there's not much cover out there as you run towards the building. And you know, it's always like I said last week. You know, it was like, you know, bringing a gun to a knife fight. It's like, all right, you know, in real world maybe that's gonna be, you know, you're gonna get that advantage, but like, come on. Where's the fun in that? You know, that's what I always say. I mean, it is quarterfinal, so everything is, you know, you should expect everything, but I don't know. It's really, you often see kills or just a ton of damage when you have players run out, because it's like, hey, it's open season at that point. You just kind of see somebody, and it only works once as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Firebird, you know, take out someone trying to get a spawn kill. But we'd also see a lot of these players really grouped up here. We're seeing Teshi repel in right onto site. A little bit of a weird screen rotation there. Unfortunate there, taken out by Andy Bink, but Wealku having that diffuser, needing to watch out from all angles, having to watch their back. Tuan though using that shotgun. We do see there is somebody above. Tuan throwing a pretty interesting. Unfortunately, Wealku taken out by Soy the Bean. Very unfortunate to see here. Firebirds, though, kind of scrambling. Having to really kind of compensate in some areas where they're having to, you know, regain. You know, Xerxes was down for a little bit. There goes the Lion Pulse, maybe not really marking anybody here. Tuan, though, able to take out Andy Bink, but getting immediately refragged. And unfortunately, so is Xerxes. Iced Helix versus 4, and it is not looking good. He's taking a little bit of poke damage there from an unknown assailant. But we're going to see Ice Helix 2 is back, missing that rotate, and Cougars are going to take round number 3. I wouldn't be surprised if the Firebirds took a timeout here.
I would say so. Yep, there we are. The mental energy just is not.
It's an endurance game at this point. When it comes to this long, it's an endurance game.
Exactly.
It's, you know, the people who are able to wake up later in the afternoon, who didn't wake up at 6 a.m., are going to be able to perform a little bit better.
I feel like you're targeting me?
I'm target banning you.
Hey, what's wrong with waking up at 11:45 when your class is at 12:30?
Must be nice. Must be
It's
nice.
awesome. I'm really good at making my schedules.
Must be nice.
I go to the registration and I say, hello. I want all afternoon classes.
I don't have that variety in my schedules, you know, because there's usually only like 1 or 2 classes I can actually take that I need to graduate, so must be nice. You know, I do have afternoon classes, but I also have other work. I work elsewhere, so.
Here.
What do you think the Firebirds are talking about at this timeout?
waking up.
Waking up.
I would say mental energy is not there. Got to get that mental back. Got to go in there with a plan, with an objective, and execute it. Like it just does not seem coordinated. You know, any of these pushes. I know it's going to be a little bit different on defense, but they really got to deal with the cap can. That should be their number one priority.
Priority numero uno.
It should
Or
be.
how do you say that in Russian?
Huh?
How do you say that in Russian? Okay. I would have applauded you if you knew. If you just immediately knew, but you don't. So it's disappointing. But as we head into round number 4, the Cougars running that second floor site or that third floor site. Sorry. So used to weird number floors. So used to there only being 2 floors, but this one's 3.
You know, they should have 5 floors.
No.
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 One room
No.
per floor.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, 10 floors then. 1 room per floor then you have
This
10.
is why you are not
10 seconds remaining.
doing. You are not working for. Ubisoft.
You know, that could be the tower rework.
No.
Insertion.
No. Towers. Honestly, I kind of like.
I love tower.
Attackers must
But
locate and
Cougars
defuse
on
the
round
bomb.
number 4 running an Oryx, Capkin, Wamai, Mozzie, and Warden. Firebirds running a a strategy they try time and time again, but this might be it. They haven't tried it on this map just quite yet. Running that Ace, Sledge, Montaigne, Ayana, and Dokkaebi. What a beautiful... This could be a very beautiful play here.
Yeah, this could be interesting, but I say you gotta bring an IQ or something to deal with that cap can. It's just too much, you know?
Yeah. I'm curious. We will see. Xerxes preparing for that run out because, you know, run out. Usually we see people run out more than once. It's expected. There's a pattern. The chances of somebody doing it again is like 99%, I bet. You never know. You never know though. Firebirds are just expecting everything at this point.
You gotta in this game.
Very, very true. Now they do see people. They're very much playing the intel game. You know, making sure they know where all the Capkin traps are. But I'm shocked they're not running an IQ or
I
any
know.
sort of way to detect Capkin traps. You know,
Because at
even a
least 2
Twitch.
Firebirds have been hitting a Capcan trap, and you know that's just free damage. Free damage for the defenders.
Definitely. Now the Wamai. That's funny. They threw a Wamai magnet right in the middle of the floor. There's 2 Capkin traps on that doorway as well to their left, so I'm hoping that we don't see Twan walk through it, but we will see. Here we go. The magnet detecting that grenade, that flash grenade. Flashing Wialku, but Twan is able to push in, not letting the flash really stop him. A lot of flash grenades going
wow.
off. They're making sure to disable every sort of magnetic grenade, or Magneto, I think it's called, Magneto device, that Wamai placed. But alas, there's still a proximity alarm somewhere.
The Magnet system. Oh, that's a good kill.
Xerxes just, you know, seeing Waffle's bot, saying, hey, goodbye. And there you go.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, what's up? I'm Xerxes. Nice to meet you. You're gone. You're done. You're done. Unfortunately, Xerxes taken out there, but we do see Twan moving forward as Monty taking
There
out
we go.
Hobo. A great pick for the
Oh,
Firebirds.
dear.
Unfortunately, Ice Helix falling prey, or Wialku falling prey to a Capkin trap, and Ice Helix probably taking a ton of damage to it.
15 seconds to
So
go.
15 seconds left. Firebirds are really not gaining that upper hand. There goes Twan with the diffuser, and the Firebirds are
5
falling.
seconds remaining.
It is truly unfortunate to see. And Isilix did get a kill.
Operators, you have run
One
out
for
of
good luck,
time.
you know.
Gotta end on a high note.
Honestly, the Firebirds, finishing number 2 in the season, you know. And, I mean, of all the games they played, I think it comes down to the fact that the Cougars have only played 5 games this entire season because they've had 4 games be forfeits. So they didn't actually, get that experience and that play time. So that's why they fell to number 7 on the playoff. They were very close. Unfortunately, they were very, very close
Attackers need to
to
locate and defuse
slipping
bombs.
and being eliminated from playoffs, and not qualifying for it. Now, Firebirds could still come back. They still have yet to attack.
We've seen it
So
before.
we have seen it many times. The Firebirds have done it, I believe, like three times now, where they've come back from a dramatic deficit without any sort of real issues, you know. And I think this might be the key. I think they might have some tricks. They might, you know, I think, based on what I've seen from the Cougars, the Firebirds might be kind of just playing to their motivation in a sense. They're gonna they're gonna give them a few rounds. And they're gonna, you know, the Cougars are gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing so well, I can win. And then the Firebirds are like, all right, you know, monitor switch on, and then suddenly come back and catch them off guard in a sense. But I could be very wrong. We never know. That could be the strategy. I don't know what they're thinking out there. But as we head into round number 5, it looks like the Cougars are gonna be running that kitchen hold again. Running that Solis, Capkin, Wamai, Mozzie, and Warden, and the Firebirds finally taking an IQ here. Finally playing IQ. WeAllCoo finally playing an IQ here. An Ash, Fuse, Sledge, and Ace also joining WeAllCoo there. A very destructive composition. What do you think?
I'm thinking just like at least we brought an IQ to deal with the Capcan trap, so hopefully that WeAllCoo can take it, if not all, at least most of them. And I'm just thinking it's just a really solid comp for first floor. There's not going to be anything to deny the walls, so I would really try and breach as many sides as you can, try and get as many angles as you can into kitchen, and try and open it from freezer. I think that'd be a good thing also in bakery. And just moving from there, and that's gonna help a lot.
An early pick on the Solis is a great pick. Unfortunately, Xerxes is taken out as well. 1 for 1, and I'll happily take that. I mean, Xerxes getting, I believe, no, I think 1 for 1 is a great trade there. An ace for a Solis, I will happily. I think Firebirds are in favor of that. You know, Solis is such a crucial operator, and being out of the picture gonna put the Firebirds at a slight advantage. Tuan using that fuse grenade, will he get a pick? Unfortunately not, but he's probably gonna use it for zoning. Very rarely do you see any sort of kills at this high level of play. I mean, I don't think I've died to a fuse charge in a long time. Hobo though, Hobo almost dying. I'm sorry, as I say that, Hobo almost dying to it. Pretty funny. You could sneeze on Hobo at this point and they'd fall. And that might be what the Firebirds do, you know? You just need a little bit of a grenade impact. And there we go. Tuan taking out Hobo with a fuse charge. The opposite of what I'm saying, because I really have not really seen... fuse charges are kind of easy to avoid at this point. You either shoot it or you run away. There's 2 ways to counter it. And apparently neither really happened there, but I wasn't quite sure the situation there. WeAllCoo unfortunately falling to Kami Puppy, but the advantage, the Firebirds, we're going to see Tuan drop, downing the Capkin, who's still alive, but they're going to have to plant very shortly. I don't know if they know that the down is done. It wasn't. Touchy taking a ton of damage. Triple kill for Icelix, and Icelix is going to be planting Tuan, really needing to protect Icelix at this point. Unfortunately not. It is now Icelix versus 2. Icelix versus 1. Will we see Icelix get the pick? You do have Teshi, who is going to be able to provide intel. Unfortunately, oh my gosh. Firebirds not able to finish it off, and Kami Puppy getting that triple kill there. Probably going to be getting that counter defuse off.
Yep. Or not, or maybe not.
Oh, maybe not.
I guess, yeah.
You know, it'd be a shame if
It'd be a shame
if they just stopped pressing F.
It'd be a shame if the keyboard just died.
I'm sure we'd go into an admin pause or timeout or something.
Yeah, like what happens
I don't
for that?
know.
Like what if your mouse dies?
It's a technical timeout.
Huh.
I think it just happens. I don't know.
What happens if you're like in the middle of a gunfight?
I don't think any sort of, you know, adding or subtracting of rounds is going to happen. I think it's just an unfortunate circumstance. You know, if it happens between rounds, then we might get a timeout to fix it. But if it happens during a round, there's nothing you can do. We've seen that before, where we've had players who have like their monitors broken or something. Monitor glitches, computer shuts off. You still play out the round. It's unfortunate circumstance, and they'll pause it between rounds. But you know, that's just how it works.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say though, like, it's been an honor casting with you. It really has.
Hey,
I'm excited.
no negative.
If this is the last if this is the last time, which honestly, I'm so glad it's not best of 5. If it was best of 5, I would have walked away. If I would have walked away last round, I would have been like, all right, I'm not doing this. It's too early for this. It's too late for this. But Cougars going onto that second floor site. Cougars running that Castle, Capkin, Wamai, Mozzie, and Frost, whereas the Firebirds running that Buck, Ash, Blitz, Iana, and Ace. What do you think is going to be happening here?
Hopefully very, very quick tempo. I'm hoping for quick tempo. We've seen a lot. I mean, you got a couple 3 speeds and a lot of destruction, so let's see it. Looks like Xerxes getting to work.
Now, this is round 6, so next round the Firebirds will now be defending and the Cougars will be attacking. So, you know, that could be the changeup that happens. You know, we've seen it where it's like, oh, a team is just really good at attacking and suddenly they just reverse sweep. If this ends up being a reverse sweep, I don't know what I would do.
Be happy?
Yeah. I would cast again with you next week while playing Duck Duck Goose. Soy the Bean falling to a grenade there from, I believe, Teshi. Not dying, but basically you could breathe on Soy the Bean at this point. And it's really coming down to the wire. Juan is running that blitz again. Here goes that Ice Helix with that charge. Unfortunately, Teshi falling to Hobo there. But I think Slow and Steady is winning this race at this point. And the Firebirds just making sure to gain ground slowly but surely. But we do see there are going to be some roamers. Some people out of position there on the Cougars, you know, kind of not on site, but kind of just above, hiding in corners. Soy the Bean taken out by Ice Helix finally. And Tuan throwing a little bit of a smoke grenade there. Unfortunately, Xerxes falling, but Ice Helix is going to take out Andy Bink, getting a refrag on the person who took Xerxes out. And Xerxes has been revenged. Avenged. Not revenged. Avenged. But 3v3.
Is revenge and avenge the same thing?
Revenge is the act of avenging someone.
But then what's avenge?
To take revenge on someone.
Oh no.
Revenge is the noun, avenge is the verb. Leave it that way. Unfortunately, Tuan taken out of that fight. It is now Wialku and Ice Helix versus 3 of the Cougars with 16, 15, about 15 seconds left.
Seconds to go. 10 seconds left.
Lot of gunfire happening with no time, and it does not look good for the Firebirds. Unfortunately, not able to take round 6, but sides are going to be swapped. So
hopefully, let's see 6 in a row.
I'm hoping. Here we go, round 7. Let's see, 8 in a row. 8 in a row. Here we go.
I just need
that
6.
rhymes. 8 in a row. Here we go.
Just need 6 to get it to OT.
6 to OT, and then
6 to OT. Then just think of it. Take it 1 at a time.
I mean, that's how it's gonna be for the next 8
I
in a row.
know, but you gotta paradigm it. You gotta think of it as just like, I just need this round. I just need this round.
Just need this round. Yeah.
Just need this round.
Protect your bombs from
Just
being
need that
defused
round.
by attackers.
What about that round?
Maybe that one.
That round?
Maybe that one.
We'll see. We'll see. As the Firebirds start their defense on that third floor site,
Attackers have located a bomb.
I am very curious how this is going to go. Now we do see they're running a Jaeger, a Zami, Castle, Mute, and Alibi. What do you think they're going to? How do you think this is going to go?
This is going to be very tactical. I mean, you have the Nomad to watch your flank. You have the Lion to push in pretty well. Pretty good intel.
10 seconds left before
Twitch to destroy the any bandits.
5
And
seconds left.
yeah, this is a really good comp.
Attackers' objective
Really
is to
good team.
defuse a bomb.
I am very excited to see. Now, honestly, this could be it. This could be the last round for the Firebirds. Firebirds could not afford to
Don't think about
lose
it.
this round.
Don't think about it.
If they lose this round, we're going home. Unfortunately, But I mean, again, this season has been a magical.
No.
moment.
We'll discuss that after. I see a win
I'm
right
wanting
now.
a win. I'm
I see-
trying. You know, Capster's curse could apply.
I see a win
Or is that
right
the
now.
statement the Capster's curse is going to go? Now, the Lion Pulse going out. Firebirds making sure to time a lot of this very carefully. Very curious how this is going to go.
Barrier placed. We'll cover
Slowly
Yeah.
but surely. I think, honestly, the Azami is going to be a great choice here for the Firebirds. Mixed with that Alibi, it could be pretty funny. I think Alibi could have some funny moments. Sword of the Beam, though, taking a really impressive angle. Now, I got to say here, though, looking at the Cougars, they're running a Nomad, Lion, Ace, a Twitch, and a Sledge. We rarely see Twitch played. I think at all. We have not seen Twitch at all tonight.
Yeah.
Despite both teams playing just kind of gadget-heavy gadget-heavy compositions, and it's really working out in favor of the Firebirds.
Air jab in position.
Once again, it's these endurance matches that make you think, you know, fun things, spice things up. You have the knowledge of what the other team does, and it all depends on how you execute it.
Knowledge.
Knowledge is power. Ice Helix, though, is in that bathroom. Seeing
There we go.
Seeing Wafflesbot, taking Wafflesbot out. Wafflesbot is now no longer, maybe more of a pancake. You know? Do you like pancakes or waffles?
I kind of like pancakes better than waffles.
Interesting. I can judge you now. But we all using the Alibi drone to kind of cover. 2 of the Cougars have been spotted with that, and 2 impact grenades going out, downing Andy Bink. They're not out. Downed but not out. Kami Puppet taking a little bit of damage, and we do see the revive coming into Andy Bink, but Andy Bink has very low health right now, so the Firebirds are at an advantage against them in that sense. They just can kind of go for a body shot. Hobo, though, taking Teshi out of the picture. 28 seconds left in on the clock, and the Cougars need to push forth. They're taking this very slow and steady does win races, but it's not going to win every race.
Just
The one in the
just
cherry
keep
button.
swimming.
Ice Helix, though, immediately reading that situation. Beautiful lineup there. Hobo, though, is going to be planting on somewhere, but Twan's going to stop them from doing it. 3v1, and there's 6 seconds left on the clock, and the Firebirds are catching the Cougars off guard. The Cougars are not going to be able to do anything about it.
There we go.
Andy Bink, Twan finishing Andy Bink off at the last second. What a beautiful round, and I think that is showing the Firebirds are going to excel on defense.
Exactly.
So going into round 8, what do you think the Cougars are going to do now?
Honestly, I would try and rush it a bit more and trying to catch the Firebirds off guard. I think that's something the Firebirds really need to be concerned about. So gotta run some traps. Get Capcan. Get Capcan in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's coming down to Capcan. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's Capcan, and then also just like its positioning.
Attackers
It's not.
locate
It's
and
weird.
defuse
These
as many
two
bombs
teams
as
are
they
very
can.
good mechanically. I think it's coming down to. Personally, I think the Firebirds might excel mechanically, but that is being countered by the Cougars, who are just playing really good angles, watching, holding really good long distance angles.
Yep.
That catches the Firebirds off guard, because now when you're on defense, you're not at that advantage in the long distance run. But we will see how this goes as the Firebirds take this round, are now in kitchen, and it looks like they're running a Castle, Mute, Frost, Valkyrie, and Jaeger, whereas the Cougars are running that Osa, Lion, Ace, Twitch, and Sledge. Same composition as last map. Firebirds, I think, have enough variation that it's going to work out.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so. And so far, it looks like they're going to be pushing in from a bunch of different angles. Looks like coming in from the west side primarily, trying to go over to Bakery.
Yeah, I think this push is going to be the determining factor here, whether or not they push from, an angle the Firebirds are holding, or maybe it's going to be something that they're going to maybe lose a little time on. It all depends on, it depends at this point on just playing. You could have these strategies, but you never know. Here we go.
Frag
Hobo
goes
throwing
out.
a frag grenade, knocking Xerxes down to the ground. But we will see how this goes. as they're really just taking their time. They do notice that Xerxes is down. They're going to be probably anticipating that. And here we're going to see Ice Helix maybe focusing on it. Ooh. Xerxes was kind of maybe pushing forward, maybe kind of trying to
bait him out.
But we will see Xerxes is able to kind of run around. Unfortunately, not able to get picked off. Xerxes, though, alerting them to Twan's position there. Very unfortunate to see Xerxes is taken out, but he's able to watch those Valkyrie camps and gain some intel directly. The castle barricades have been put out, so, all the utility is there.
C4 deployed.
Especially, though, planting that C4, maybe a little bit of a miss-up, maybe a misinput. Here goes that Lion Pulse. They have one more Lion Pulse left, and I don't think it marked any of the Firebirds, unfortunately, but it's going to be really good. Twan holding a phenomenal angle there, but they're going to try and push around through the back of Bakery, which makes me wonder why that was left unreinforced, because now Twan's position won't be utilized as effectively. Unfortunately, Tushi is taken out of the fight, and Twan trying to maybe rotate around. Unfortunately, doing a little bit of damage to Hobo, just enough to keep him alive, but not enough to get any picks. There goes the C4 kill, not taking anybody out there. Maybe scaring one or two players. There goes the C4, or the drone. It is now 2v5, and it is not looking good for the Firebirds. It is just Ice Helix and Twan left for the team. There goes Ice Helix. It is now Twan versus the world. This is it. This is the clutch up. Redemption for all the times you've gotten these clutch ups. 1v4, and there goes round 8. The Cougars taking it from the bottom of the leaderboard to the top. What a match. The Firebirds probably just very tired. It really came down to that. They think they made some kind of stupid mistakes on maps 1 and 2. Now, I would say stupid mistakes. Just really small mistakes, the kind of just butterfly effect, And map 3 just not getting that upper hand. And honestly, I think that was the Cougars who chose this map. So it's very clear they know this map. The Firebirds haven't played on this map, so it's it's unfortunate to see it playoffs, but it's reason.
But a great thing is that the team still knew is that we're gonna see them all again next year. It's gonna be wonderful. And
meet
again. Don't know where. Don't know when. I don't know the rest of it.
Not copyright strike.
But wow, just amazing plays by the enemy team, and hopefully they go all the way, winning for finals.
No, I want an SHSU to win. I want SHSU to continue that victory. But I gotta say, it's been an honor casting with you for these past what season, 2 seasons,
2 seasons,
2 seasons. But I know that the person replacing me will be Bunny. Bunny will, I'm 99% sure. That's the one who I chose. Bunny will be replacing me on Siege next year, and it will be a phenomenal match. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll still see you, though.
I know, but
I might make a guest appearance in the future. You never know. But
I hope so.
I'm going to come by. It's saying goodbye for me. It's as if we're not going to see each other for another, month and a half, Toner.
I know, but it's not...
Sorry. Anyways,
he got me into this mess.
I could take you out of this mess.
And I am just so appreciative that you brought me on board for all this. All of this is just amazing, and I'm so proud of the team. Thank you for everyone that's been watching. It has just been a dream come true.
Truly has.
Could not be done without you.
I appreciate it. It has been an honor casting Siege these past two, technically 3. There was the off season, but it truly has been a pleasure. To the viewers at home, we do have a post-game interview, so this isn't fully gone. But to the viewers at home, it really, really means a lot when you tune in. Even when you don't say anything in chat, it just means so much to us. But we are going to be back in just a few moments with our post-game interview. I'm not quite sure who it's going to be, but I'm sure it is going to be a great, great interview. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Why you wanna do what everybody wanna do? How the hell you making can't change if you ain't focusing on you. Graduated Philly, you, and I still feel like I'm in school. Pure soul that's in my body, I'm still learning, that's the truth, bro. Simone Biles flow because I know the art of balance. Super effective flow, water doing fire damage. Here we go again, you ignorant, so don't assume all this knowledge I consume since I was drowning in the womb, bro.
Welcome back, everybody, for tonight's post-game interview. I'm joined by team captain Quizby. You had actually a phenomenal night tonight, especially in map 1, coming in with that game-winning clutch. What is going through your mind right now?
I think there's just like a lot of emotions. It was three very intense maps. One we did not know, which was Cafe. We're not very familiar with the map as a team. Like, we're all familiar with it individually, but as a team, we lack strategy on that map, and I think that really showed. It
showed, and it's unfortunate, but I mean, it makes sense in a sense. You don't have that experience on it. You're still developing that strategies, and it's definitely something you're going to work on going into next season. You have all the summer to work on, and I don't know. I'm not quite sure of the fall if that's our off season, but I know you guys are going to be coming back stronger than ever. I'm not quite sure. Are we qualified for nationals? You won't know?
I'm actually not 100% sure. Going into quarterfinals, I believe we were. I'm not sure if we are going to partake in nationals. I think there's always that possibility for a good comeback with that. I think we need to definitely work on our map pool when it comes to the potential of nationals. We have a very small map pool, and it really showed tonight.
Yeah, I mean, but just taking a moment, looking at the new players, Tuan, Teshi, and Xerxes, like, wow.
Yeah.
Just literally, that's the only thing I can say is just wow. And this is their first year. So
yeah.
I know they're going to be back better, stronger, ready to get that revenge, that redemption there. Despite, I wouldn't even say redemption because they've done it time and time again. They've showed how powerful they are. And honestly, with the target bans, you could tell that the Cougars were definitely scared of Tuan there.
Yeah.
I think without the target bans, easy. It genuinely was. I think just a target. I always laugh. We always laugh on stream when there's a target ban because you can't hide it. You ban the 2 people that Tuan proceeds to get clip after clip after clip with. So,
right.
But I think this whole season, how would you what are your thoughts on it?
I think this season, it surprised me more than anything because it was a whole new team from last year, essentially. The only repeat was Nino and I. Unfortunately, Christian had an ear issue, so he could not play. So with a whole entire new team, I had somewhat low expectations because we just didn't know each other. We didn't know each other's play styles. We didn't know what maps we were familiar with. And I think we definitely surpassed my expectations, getting 2nd seed, and I think that's a really big feat that needs to be rewarded because it's a brand new team and we didn't practice all that much on the off season. It was every other week. Definitely want to up that next year for our off season. Practice a little more, get a little bit more familiar with each other since it still is a very fresh and green team with a bunch of freshmen on the team.
Well, I mean, looking at the few maps we've won, we lost the few matches this season that we've lost. We lost week 1, which you could defend as we're still figuring out our team.
Yeah.
We lost the week after spring break, which was, I think, coming off a 2-week hiatus, including spring break.
Too.
And then we lost to the undefeated team. But we gave them the most rounds lost that they have done ever in a series. So overall, you look at those moments, I mean, those losses have explanations. And it's stuff to learn from in the future. And I know that, it comes back. I mean, this isn't, you guys went undefeated last season. Undefeated in the regular season. So you guys have shown your power, and at this point, moving up a division, it's definitely an achievement to look at.
Oh, absolutely.
And I trust and know that going into next time, it's gonna be a great series.
Oh yeah,
a great season, I should say. But if I think going into the summer, what is something that you are already very happy that you have?
I'm definitely happy with the team that I have. I'm super grateful for them. Everyone's very supportive of each other, even though in the moment it can get a little intense, but that's just the nature of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm just very grateful for everyone's good personality and patience with each other overall, and everyone's being just actively listening in practice and being active.
Yeah,
in general.
and with the addition of Coach Wes, I mean, this has been a whole new experience, basically. You know, having Coach Wes 100% dedicated to just the Siege team this season, being able to, you know, talk about his past experiences and those strategies allow you guys to develop at a very, very focused level. He specializes in Siege, so he knows how all of that, how the game works in a sense.
Right.
But that is all I have for tonight. Thank you so much for an incredible season. It has been an honor to cast you time and time again, to cast the entire team. To the viewers at home, thank you so much for tuning in. It has been an honor to cast for you every Tuesday night for the past, you know, couple weeks, but also, you know, Rainbow Six before that. And I'm very, very excited to see the future of our Siege team. I will be guaranteeing watching probably every night, every single Tuesday, because I love Siege truly. To my core, you know, I got a special place in my heart for it. But thank you once again for watching tonight as well. We'll be back on Thursday night. I will be back for Overwatch. Unfortunately, we won't be back for some more Siege, but you know, you're not done with me yet. You have some Overwatch you can watch me for, and they will also be partaking in the quarterfinals against the, I believe, University of Arkansas. So be sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Carthage Esports to, you know, be up to date with our current scores and, you know, happenings and, you know, game announcements to get some timings for those. But once again, thank you so much for watching and have a good night.
The high Wheaton shoves that right over to the Lions half. Looks like this one's going in. Oh, you're kidding me. Don't over behind. We're gonna see the barrage. The barrage.
Oh my gosh, Nico is just dominating right now.
What a play!
That's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
That was disgusting.